Heading into the final trading week of the year, futures pointing to a mixed open coming up this morning as we look back once again at how this year has transpired and take a look forward into the new year. The Omicron variant continues to be the main headline driving the market overall, coming off a pretty impressive rally for not only stocks but indexes right across the board last week, all the way back to all-time highs on Friday for the S&P 500. More data out over the weekend suggesting that the Omicron variant of COVID-19 a little bit less severe in nature, even as cases continue to spike globally. We're seeing hospitalizations and even the death rate across the globe remain relatively unchanged. So we'll have a look at some of the vaccine stocks coming up, trading lower across the board for all of those this morning. If you go all the way back to Thursday, hope you enjoyed your long weekend. We had the S&P 500, as I said, back in record high territory, up about 0.6% to end off the week last week. The Dow added about 200 points and the NASDAQ up 0.8%. Tesla shares back in positive territory. Apple shares back in positive territory as well in early trading this morning, both among the biggest benefactors to end off last week. Lots to get to. It's the last week of the year. Pretty hard to believe that. Monday, December 27th, 2021, tradertv.live starts now. And there we go. Yeah, back to the upside for the most part right across the board. When I sat down, the Dow was basically flat, but up about a quarter of a point right now. S&P 500, 0.3, NASDAQ, 0.45. Good to see back in positive territory. TSX futures here in Toronto pointing to slightly lower open. Oil under pressure. We'll talk about some of the energy stocks coming up here. You can see 1% to the downside for crude oil. Yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum back to the upside as well. The past couple of days been pretty good for cryptocurrencies. Good morning, guys. It is Monday. Good to be back. It is the final week of the year. Pretty impressive to think about that. We've been through quite a bit this year. It's looking to be a little bit more positive. Once again, this morning, all-time highs for the S&P back on Thursday of last week. It seems like it's been a long time. But here we go again, guys, back in positive territory.
Yo, yeah, what's up? Yeah, welcome back, Brendan. It's great to have Brendan back in the building here. So, we're almost all the way back, but it's going to be sad the day, of course, that we lose you, and that's going to be Friday, Arun. Arun's last day will be Thursday, but welcome back, guys. I hope everyone had a fantastic holiday, and I know I sure did, and me and Arun were talking a little bit. Brendan here, we're all back and ready to rock and roll. Light staffed, of course, today. Shout out to Lucas at home. I think Maggie's at home as well. Natalie's at home, but Miss V is in the building. And Trader Pratt will be here as well, so it should be a good, great day. I went long this M-bot at 9, and it ripped up to 9.50, and I didn't get out, so that's going to be a little bit of a problem here going into the open. Again, a light position. Should have probably taken it out, but we're going to let to see if some of these can fly here today. There's a few names on watch. Obviously, Tesla's back to 1,100 almost. Nikola's on the sticky note today as well. We cannot ignore that one. And I know there's a few names you're looking at as well, Arun, but hey, should be a good one. Let's get ready to rock and roll. It's just 27th today, and we don't have a day off.
Nope. But we are heading into the final few trading days of the year, which should bring some excitement. I mean, we had somewhat of a slow week last week, but there are starting to, even though the market has been moving strong last week, I think we should get a pickup in volume as most people adjust for the end of the year. So here we are noticing that Apple, at least I'm noticing Apple, Facebook absolutely taking off to the upside. Facebook is actually running pretty hard right now. NASDAQ going to the upside. Futures somewhat has slowed down a little bit. We are sitting just north of 47.30. And we're looking for some more names. As Sean mentioned, there are some names that are moving. We're just going to go to Brendan and find what those ones are.
Yeah, a lot of things to discuss as we head, as Arun said, to the end of the year. A lot of positions being maneuvered, a lot of adjustments going to take place over the next couple of trading sessions before we get to the last day of the year. Last day of the year, typically a little bit more volatile than most. So we'll discuss that as we head through this week. Before we do, Miss V is, as mentioned, in the building this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, team. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and ready for a productive, profitable day. Please smash the like button and let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, let's get it started, guys. Lots to get through here in the pre-market this morning as we head towards the open, as mentioned. It was all about traveling over the past couple of days, or maybe a lack thereof in the U.S., as we had a lot of cancellations, flights canceled because of staffing issues due to COVID-19. I mean, everyone knows this story by now. It is definitely not new as far as a headline to consider when it comes to some of the airlines this morning, even some of the cruise lines having to bypass some of the stops along their way to pick up more travelers and more passengers due to this Omicron variant. So nothing new as far as that is concerned, but as a group today, some of the travel stocks under a little bit of pressure this morning.
Yeah, CCL, et cetera. I was just actually looking at the CEI. It looks like it wants to break up here. Just start ripping, Brendan. I don't know if there's any news on this one, but I think it's just one of those runners here. We had a bunch of these last week, and if you're just joining us now, last week we had a bunch of random names that started to go. CEI is not random. We've seen this name go before. Camber Energy, all the way up to the upside right now. I didn't even notice this move last week. We went all the way down to 76 cents. Like when I saw this thing, it was a runner. I was like, it's at 105. Was it running down? But no, it's starting to run to the upside. Let's take the breaks, quick break. If it breaks 105, and then we'll see where it goes from here. So I think we'll take a small little shot here on a 105 break. So we should be long 106 once this breaks, and we're long already, but there it is. Okay, so we got a 106. Oh, we actually got 105. So we're long 105 now on that break for CEI. So yeah, good look there. I was actually saying this to Arun, and no matter what you think of the vaccines or some of the policies that are been here on a federal level, a state level, you can't get into a bar in New York or a restaurant in many states without being vaccinated or without having to show proof of a RAT test, a rapid antigen test or something like that. But of course, you can get right on an airplane without showing anything, right? And so, I think that there's going to be some issues there, some pushback. A lot of, it's too bad we have this little wick down here. I can't show you the chart too much. But we're going to have a pushback here from CCL and from some of the airline, the stewardess, some of the employees, things like that. Working conditions, plus a lot of workers are just becoming sick and not reporting to work, which is a good thing, I think. And there comes CCL back down to the downside. So I know a lot of us are looking at these names. I wrote it down here that I believe it's a short, and it's too bad I can't show you, but through this 1240 level here, and I'll clean up the 1 minute chart, but I think through right here, we had some resistance, goes back, I don't want to say the wrong day. What day? We were here every day, right? So goes back, well, we weren't here Friday, but goes back to Friday. This is Friday. And then Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday down here at $12.40. I just wonder if we take that, do we get this little bit of a flush and cover this gap back down to 1930 or so. So we'll wait to see there. But again, the out has to be somewhere around here, 21.50, just in case this does retrace back upside. I mean, the S&P's up 0.3 right now, and the NASDAQ up 0.5. So there is some room here for some of these names to run. If one of the major carriers here domestically, obviously, is going to be Southwest. So they're going to be down that 3% again today after a beautiful run up over the last little while. I mean, we were at $38 or beginning of last week, and then we finished at 42. That's a 10% move there in 4 days. So it's going to give something back today. But again, I'm more interested in a CCL rather than an LUV. I just think that there's a little more volume there. There's only 74,000 right now on Southwest. But for me, I'm going to look at CCL, and I know Daryl's in the chat, so maybe let me know what you think. But I think a CCL break of that 2040 seems to be the spot that I want to get it in on. So we'll wait to see that. But you can trade Royal Caribbean. I don't know. And I see a name that you have up, Arun, that you've traded before on the show.
Yep. When it comes to airlines, I tend to lean in this direction. I go away from the individual airlines and I just go to the airline maker, Boeing, right? So here I am looking at Boeing. The thing with Boeing is though we see this trade going back to the 21st. That was a nice little long I picked up at 192. And after that, I kind of stopped trading it because the level was still down here. We really didn't get a chance to kind of make use of this level. This 197 area is what I wanted to trade with. So once it kind of got above 200, the risk on this was way too high, all the way up to 205. There's no way I'm going to kind of chase it and use the 197 stop. So a move down helps. In this case, we are sitting just around that 202.50 mark. So say we get into the 201s, into the 200s, there should be some nice support that I can work with to pick up a long. So That's what I'm looking forward to. Somewhere around this 201, south of 201, there should be an option to pick up some trades. So I'm going to wait for this market to come down. If Boeing decides to come down to that price point, I'm going to wait for it to come down, wait for it to kind of slow a little bit, and then once it sets up, I'm going to go ahead and take that long with the 197 stop. That is a trade I'm looking for. See if we can actually get that trade. If we can, that's fine too, because once it gets past a certain point in terms of risk profiles, I'm just going to walk away from this trade. And I think Boeing has to be below 201 to make sense of it.
All right, here we go. Camber Energy, it's a financing deal. They're going to, looks like, buy back a whole bunch of stock on this financing deal worth $25 million. So, I mean, Camber is a small stock regardless. I was watching this PSTI as well, but back through $1 anyways on huge volume. Looks to be on that headline this morning. I mentioned some of the energy names this morning. Crude we saw down 1%. All of these going to be under pressure as a result. And again, this is just COVID-related, demand-related. Was not a very positive week for energy. Yeah, I know. I think Neil has much better eyesight than I do because all of these have been zoomed in or zoomed out, I should say, a lot. I'll have to make that a little bit bigger this week so we can see what's happening. Anyways, oil stocks, guys, down this morning as a group as well.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at too many oil stocks. I'm looking at Camber right now. I was trying to take out 12s. Like, we just took some out there at 10s on CEI, but now you're all the way up to 12, and it looks like it's just trying to resist a little bit of this 11 bump. If we can do a little bit more work, I will. We will talk about energy, though, but right here, so we did, and I'm just noticing this area, it looks like we're stopping right here. So maybe we could take one more piece out. We only took out 10% so far, but you can go back here on Camber, and if we zoom back a little bit, again, I guess we have a high here of 120. So I think that's sort of the area that we're looking to get into on this kind of a deal here, financing deal. It's only 25 million. That's not huge. We've seen them buy back stock and everything like that, reverse split, whatever on Camber. So it's been an exciting move for them. But there you go, up to 111. And then you're just giving some back here, 112, 116. You know, this is an area where we should be getting some more out. I think like an ultimate top for this name, I mean, just looking, we had a big volume spike this day when we reached up to 130 there off open. That was December 1st. So when I look back and see some of those volume spikes, that's sort of what we're looking at. And then, of course, there must have been a volume spike right here as we approach $1. So maybe 115, where we would get into. I just took another piece out right here, right now at 11. So as that goes, 10% out 11, 10% out, 10% out 10, 10% 11, 10% out 12. I thought I got a 13 there, but I must have got 12s. Yeah, so 12s again. Okay, there, now I just got a 13. So there we go. So we're at 30% out, of all of that. So 10, 11, 13, out 30%. Let's wait to see where we go on this one. I always like to look at XOM. I think that's like the biggest barometer. Obviously, if I was an investor right now in this space, which honestly, I'm so underweight in oil right now, it's stupid. I just don't believe in the space. Like, I didn't think this was like an investable space, especially back when we went, I mean, forget about going negative back in March or April of 2020, whenever that happened. You know, it's just, this has been such a monster move back up. And it's like XOM touched $30 twice. You had the golden opportunity was right down here, man. It was amazing. And then since then, it's kind of just chilling out near the top here. And I feel like I don't want to be in any oil names. Unfortunately, we did sell some of our Tesla. Oh, come on, XOM. You're not going to work on my 20-minute now? Not really. But, you know, we did sell some of the Tesla. Now Tesla's all the way back up. That's going to be a story that we're going to talk about here today. But I just think for ExxonMobil, you know, you do have some of these tops here, 61.50. If we can get back up there, I'd fade it. But, I mean, there's always Oxy that tends to move pretty well for us here now at $28. There goes Camber, man, right back up to 118. So that's another name to look at. Come on, charts, let's get going here. But not that much volume, 70,000 shares. Oxy downside again today. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about oil. We do have Kevin O'Leary on tomorrow, as long as everything goes pretty smoothly. I know he's a big sort of energy guy, so we'll see what he does and what his opinion is on this one. I want to talk to him about this and a few other things. So we'll talk to him about oil. We'll talk to him about a few other things, including the housing market and crypto and things like that. But I don't really have an opinion on any of these oil stocks, and that's more just because I haven't done the due diligence.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the February contract on the crude side of the crude futures contract, and man, there was a nice little bounce here. It is taking off. As I speak, though, it was sitting around that 73.10. Now it's at 73.38, so it has popped about 28 to 30 cents or so in the last 5 minutes. It's found a nice little base around the 73, and this is one of those things where if you had it timed out well, especially around here, now I saw a little too late here, and I wasn't going to price it either. It's not my cup of tea, but if I would have kind of stepped down a little bit, I feel like if I was able to get it close to 73 anyways. Nice little base here around the 72.50. You put up about 52 cents in risk or so per contract. And then here you are sitting pretty, if you can get this north of 74, that's a nice little risk to reward ratio, but it is bouncing off of support after kind of setting it up nicely. So we are getting a nice little move off of the oil futures or the crude futures. It is down 0.6 on the day, but it does look like there's been some strength. It is bouncing. The daily looks solid too. Look at the daily here. Nice little bounce just from after coming into support and now bouncing back up. I think we can have a nice little bounce on crude as long as we can actually maintain this buy strength and hold the support level. Even if it doesn't hold, it's a nice little risk reward ratio. And I might actually go ahead and throw some orders out there, see if I can't grab them if it comes back down to 73.
Just watching Nikola here as well, guys, trying to test this $12 level once again, coming off that huge move we saw back on Thursday of last week. If you missed it, earlier in the week, they announced and completed the delivery of this, or the first deliveries of this truck to a company in California, a shipping company. And then there was that $125 million settlement with the SEC. That's going back to some Trevor Milton comments. So that $125 million less than was initially thought it was going to be. So that seemed to be the reason for this move back on Thursday. But here we are, all the way back to 12, guys, for Nikola. You got to go all the way back to the fall last time we were up here.
Yeah, we kind of left this one. We didn't really trade this one too well. Did I trade a little bit? Maybe we'll have to see if we did. But we didn't trade this one enough on Friday, and that's sort of what we put on our sticky note here today, or it was Thursday, I guess. Cannot ignore the recent moves, right? I mean, we got to start this long somewhere. So I looked at 1140 as an area. I'll put this in our chat here in case someone wants to take a quick look at the sticky note. Only a few names on there. We're already into MBOT. We have AMC, AMD, Nikola, and CCL on there, and a few notes. But you can see here, it's been a nice move to the upside there. We did test 12 and we broke it. So wow, I was going to put on the sticky note to go long through 12, but the thing is this move is crazy. Like, I guess it was a contract for 100 more trucks, but they did deliver one of them, which is nice. So I think that's what created this nice move here from 10 up to 1150 straight up on Thursday, and then kind of just barcoded all afternoon, which was to be expected. A lot of stocks didn't do anything. So based on that news, this is kind of where I want to build my position. I really think that we should be going long Nikola. I mean, I don't love the company. I don't really, I'm not super excited about their longer term prospectus. I'm not sure about anybody competing with a Ford, a GM, a Tesla. Lucid has been going great. I think Fisker is another name. But again, there are niche markets for a lot of these things. So let's wait to see where the EV space goes here in 2022. But for now, as a day trade, I really feel like this little bunched up area, and there's the move that we're talking about over the last couple of days, big time movement on that news. But I think that we should be able to settle around here, around $11, $12. Seems to be good. We just hit 12 right now. So I think back into this area, we do have some bids, 1140 to be back into here if that can come through. And then just on a daily chart, you are right now, and it looks nasty because we've fallen from grace here, like a lot of these names. But again, we talked about this early last week, and people were kind of like, well, why is Sean long or Nikola? And it was like, this is before the deal. And it was just because we had this $9 base. So I really think that Nikola now above the 50 period, which is at 1130. It's now above. I think we got to go long. We just got to find the right spot. So I'm sitting right now on the bid at 1141 and then 1126. So if we do pop, or I guess drop down here, I do want to be part of this, but not until we get into this 1140 area, and then we'll defend this down here at 1120. And then if we have to, I guess we'll get punched out somewhere around 1080, 1090. But I really think that there is a nice chance for a move up through 12 one more time.
I agree with Sean. It's going to have to be, in terms of controlling the risk on a trade like this, it's going to have to be through a drop, right? It's got to dip down. And I'm going to go a little bit further down. I want it closer to 11 even. I think for me, the stop is going to be around here. It's going to be around that 10 mark, just given what the daily looks like. This is what the daily looks like. Given how much action we're getting around 1050, I'm going to need to put it below 1050. So I think 10 even is going to have to be the smarter point there. So I'm going to say 10 even stop if we can get it south of 1150 into these 11. So anywhere between 1150 and 11 even, I'm open to taking the trade, but I need it to set up. Obviously, it should slow down first, but I do need to set up preferably somewhere in that 1120 area would be ideal. But we are going to wait for a trade on a dip with the 10 even stop.
A couple of other little ones of note today. I want to mention this Next ID, NXTD, couple-day run going back to last week. We're back to 450 on decent volume, up 10.2% as well. A huge level for that. There was also this BBIO out with data this morning on one of their most recent studies that failed. So this is a $40 stock. Last week, we're all the way down to $12 this morning. So a huge move. This keeps popping up on a volume scanner I'm watching as well. Around 14, guys. So BBIO, an interesting one.
Ooh, I just tested BBIO. We do actually have shortable shares for that. So I did want to give, I see, thank you so much there for OG1 Kenobi. That's a sick name. Thank you for the $20 super chat. And I don't know what you're talking about, but you have a number 10 there. So I don't know if that's in reference to Nicola or what, but thank you, OG1 Kenobi. And thank you to everybody. And let's go, Brendo. That's for sure. Welcome back, Brendan. We're really glad to have him back. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for that, OG1 Kenobi. We got a lot of super chats there last week. So happy holidays to everybody. And
he's referring to Nicola. The Nicola,
that's what I figured. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, look, that's great. If you guys are long Nicola at any price greater than $9, I mean, that's the low. I think you're going to be fine with that, and you can hold that for a while. MBOT's starting to go as well right now. Again, we'll see if it can retest back up to 950. That'd be pretty sweet if that could happen. And then we did take a piece out of our CEI at 23. I mean, this is how I trade, right? Anytime we get up to or near quarters, I mean, we go long on the one break, and then that's pretty sweet so far for CEI. But this Bridge Bio, man, BBIO, thanks to Brendan for bringing that news. Like, missing, never a good sign from 40. Let's let this thing load here. From $40 all the way down to 13 and change. Like, really? I mean, there's no point in even looking at daily charts or anything like that. This is just getting crushed right now, all the way to the downside. The low of the day is going to be 11.90, it looks like. Our system shows $12. I guess that just depends when you logged in. But right now to the downside here, 12, 13, 14. I don't know. Without knowing too much about, obviously, this end of their testing, whenever you are a biopharma, of course, this stuff can happen, and you're down 70%. We did see last week, remember, ALLK with a miss as well. That had a big-time struggle to the downside, down to $11 or $10. Like. How are these charts not working? It's 8.52 right now. But here it comes. This is ALLK on a miss. And Brendan, you might have missed this one as well, being on your vacay there. But $80 this was. This one all the way down to 10. So it's very, very similar here. And then just to try to get some reason of support here on this name, let's see what ALK did over the last little bit. Their very first day that they were down. Now, this is going to be hard to see, guys. But the very first day was 10. It made it down to a key level of 850 or so off that bottom wick, and now it's starting to come back up. So if I'm going to use, and again, they're not the same company or anything like that, obviously, but if you're going to use some sort of an example, you do have that bottom wick there at 12, so maybe a dip buy into $12 might be something to look at here. 12.50, we got some volume down on BBIO, so I think that's going to be a place maybe where you want to sit around and hang out. So BBIO down near 12, 12.50. Could be a decent buy for a little bit of a bump up. But again, the market and analysts and people that cover this stock know a lot more about this than I do. So we're going to wait to see what BBIO does early on. But I think if you're long, you do have that little wick bottom there at 12, and then even better 12.50 with some support. So I'm going to sit in here somewhere like 12.80, see if we get a little move down, and then we'll trade it out off that. Once we get filled, we'll see where we go. But so far, so good on that one. And we will do a look at some of these crypto plays too before the market opens.
Oh boy, BBIO. Okay.
What do you even say about it? I mean,
yeah, there's very little to say. I mean, the only thing you can argue for is if they were to take out the lows, which is what, 12 and change. If they can get to the new lows, then I think that's going to be something on the radar. But until that happens, it's down 66%, so it's going to be SSR as soon as it opens. I'm sure, it's not open yet, but it's going to be SSR anyway. So once it gets through 12, we're going to have to figure out what to do with it. But I think for now, odds are I'm probably going to have to pay for shorts through it. So first, I'm going to have to check for that. If I've got to pay for shorts, I'm not even going to bother. But let's get some new lows, and we'll deal with it then.
Yeah, I got to go where the action is. Miss V and I just discussing the fact that there is not many, you got to look really hard for analyst moves this morning when it comes to upgrades and downgrades. Really nothing terribly significant. To mention a few moves on these ones that we've been talking about, BBIO and also the other small caps, but nothing on the big side. For upgrades and downgrades, we're going to get to DD Global. headline for DD today. We talked about Nikola a little bit, but right across the board, guys, maybe Arun, we can just mention, the overall market here going to be important as we head towards the end of the year. A lot of positions being maneuvered, a lot of portfolios being maneuvered. Maybe talk a little bit about, what is to come as we head towards the last trading day of the year.
Well, given the market's gone, and this is what I was, I think when Neil was alluding to the fact that, or we were defining what the Christmas rally was, it was final 5 trading days of the year plus the 2 trading days of next year. So 7 trading days total. Here we are. This is the period where it's got to happen. And Neil went through the statistics on what happens if we don't get that average 1% throughout those days. Now, as the market goes up, here we are sitting not too far away from all-time highs on the S&P futures. Now, let me pull this up. I've got the crude contract there. But the S&P futures, the all-time high I've seen is 47 for 43 quarter. So here we are sitting just underneath 10 points from putting new all-time highs. Let's say that 47.50 is a new level. Well, if we were to maintain this rally, this Santa Claus rally as everyone's expecting, if we were to put in that average 1%, we're going to blow right through all-time highs, and we should be able to maintain strength going into the new year. Now, here's the issue, though, I'm noticing, is that if we were to easily take that level out, it opens up one scenario to the downside, which could be really bad, and then obviously at the upside, it could be solid, which is this here. Let me pull this up. This is the multi-day chart. These are the levels I've got. And this is going back to November. This is going back about 2 months or so. We've going sideways. I kind of went through these moving averages here, the 50, the 100, and the 200 because of the program activity around those price points. Here we are finally looking to expand. If we can maintain the strength, I think, past this level, past this area, and not immediately check back down, I think we have a decent chance to really extend to the upside given how much time we've gone sideways. But we really do need to get up there. We've kind of stalled out here for about 3 times now. When we've been up here, we've kind of lost the strength. So I think this week is going to be very telling on what we're going to see, especially going into the final trading day of the year, where there's a lot of, whether it's profit taking at the end of the year, right, last minute adjustments. But as we get closer and closer, obviously the volume seems a little bit light for the time being, but as we get closer and closer, I would expect more activity to be happening, especially in these futures contracts that are sitting so close to all-time highs, and portfolios in these stocks that are just absolutely taking off in these index names, right? I'm noticing Facebook absolutely taking off to the upside, sitting just south of 338. I'm in Apple running strong, north of 177. I'm sure Microsoft is there, and Amazon, I believe, is up as well on the day. I got to double check that one. But we're going strong. We've been doing this for since Monday afternoon. We've been going straight up pretty much. And here we are still maintaining that strength. As long as we can maintain that strength this week, I think that's critical. As long as we can maintain that strength to absorb any selling that may come in at the end of the day on Friday, as we kind of go into the end of the year. I would assume that it's going to be sell side activity. It may not be, but I assume that's going to be the case given the strength this market has for the last 4 days. So as long as we can absorb all of that, then we should be in great case, or in good standing to start the year off with a nice little pop to the upside, because that tends to happen in the first couple of days anyways. So that's what I'm looking forward to, a nice little extension past this all-time high with strength, so we can actually absorb any selling that comes in, and then after that I think is off to the races for next year.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see what happens with the overall market. It's been an interesting year, to say the least, for IPOs as well. We're just reading a note from CNBC analyst, 156 billion worth of IPOs, 318 billion if you include SPACs in that this year, which is a record. All of the IPOs are trailing the NASDAQ by 32 percentage points, which is huge if you think about it, because we've had some decent sized and pretty important and pretty exciting IPOs this year. But 32 percentage points at the end of the year for almost 200 or 160 billion in IPOs anyway. So telling, I guess. That's not including SPACs either. So here, Sean mentioned tomorrow, make sure you're here, 10:30 Eastern. Kevin O'Leary going to give us not only a little bit of a look back, we'll discuss what we saw during this year, lots of exciting storylines to discuss as far as what happened this year, but we're also going to ask him what is to come, both on the crypto market side. Sean mentioned a few topics there we'll discuss with Kevin, so make sure you're here tomorrow for Mr. Wonderful making another appearance on our show. Let's get into what is moving around here in the pre-market, guys. If you need the watch list, that is the link. Miss B will help you out. You can use a QR code if you're very quick with your phone. Get ready because, oh, it's gone. Let's talk airlines, guys, because as we discussed all as a group to the downside this morning, a little bit anyways in negative territory. I just saw a few of them trying to make a move back to the high side, which is good to see overall. But this Omicron thing, a bit of a problem. We had as many as 2,000 cancellations over the Christmas break in the U.S. alone, mostly domestic. So you'll see some of the more international flights or international carriers a little better off this morning as far as airlines are concerned.
Yeah, remember what we said earlier was that international flights, you still, of course, have to show vaccine and, whether or not you've been vaccinated and or a recent test. I mean, there's different rules going through. I don't know. Instead of picking a name here, let's talk about maybe a little bit of investing opportunities, because this JETS ETF, which is called ETF Series Solution JETS ETF, does hold. And we talked about this the other day. I mean, I called it up and we looked at it. Maybe we can do it right now. We'll look at the holdings in the JETS ETF. But basically, it's 10% of everything. So, as you go, you don't have to worry too much here. It is right here. Just a quick Google search brings this up. Delta, this is what I mean. It's just 10%. Delta, 10%. United, 10%. Southwest, so on and so forth. American. They're all, roughly the same. And they're all the names that we're going to talk about right here. So if you look at this ETF and you thought to yourself, you know what, I have to find out if that ETF, because I don't hold this ETF. I wonder if it actually pays a dividend. I'll check that out for you. Or one of us could anyways. We'll figure that out. But here's a nice little dip down, and it's been bought up the last couple weeks. So it's been good. I mean, this is not even the last couple weeks. This goes back to November. This date here is December 2nd. We made this bottom at 1950, ripped up to 22 or so, fell back and made that exact same move. So right now, it's kind of like a V shape. So I do expect this on a little bit of negative news to come back in here. So now we're back in, but we're not back in that much, only 1.68%. And I just think that there's going to be new policies coming down. Just like what I just said there, some states you can't even go into restaurants without showing you're vaccinated or some sort of a vaccine passport or a test or whatever. And that's just not true for domestic flights. So I think that there could be a rule coming through very, very soon that maybe changes that. I don't know. I'm not a policymaker. I have no idea if that's going to be the case or not. But I like the JETS ETF if you do want to play some of this love going back in. But again, the biggest domestic airline that I can see that we've been looking at from a charting standpoint has been LUV, right? Southwest. It did have this dump off spot here at 46.50. Shout out to Mark Roberts. I know he was looking at this name a lot when he goes on our show. And then you get a big dump down here into 38. Like, that's pretty low for some of these names. I mean, we can zoom this. I don't even know if I can zoom this back, but this 38.40 level has been a beautiful level to buy this name on. So I think that any more of a dip down in, that's a spot that we want to look to get long on here. But right now, the volume is just not here. I mean, it's 177,000 shares, but 80 or 90,000 of it was one random print in here at 41. So it's just like the volume's not here on LUV, but this is the name I'd look at. And then I know, Daryl, me and you went a little bit back and forth in the past on CCL, but this is another name here today where I believe I'd rather be short up here on, I need a 20-minute chart. Rather be short up in this area, 21 for CCL, 21.20, 21.40, something like that into here. But again, we could break this spot, which is 21.40, which is coming up. So I actually already have an order ready to go on that quick break. It'll be light shares because it'll be early. Maybe we do get a pop up and we can sort of absorb some of these shorts, but I do like a 21.40 break on CCL. So it's a lot of talk. Hopefully we get some action here.
Yeah, for me, airlines, I'm going to stick with Boeing. I mentioned this off the top. 197 stop, anything south of 201 would get into the range of where I would like to pay in terms of risk. So we'll keep an eye on it. It is sliding a little bit. Now it's at 202.33. So as it keeps going down, we'll see if we can grab a nice little bid. Just one thing before I send it back to Brendan here. Crude future is absolutely taking off. I had to cancel the order. I was waiting back here at 73 and change. It's now at 73.60, right? When we were talking, it was at 73.40. Now it's at 60. So it's still moving strong to the upside. There was a small little window to pick up some contracts there in front of that 73, but I think that window's closed. So we're gonna have to wait for this contract to maybe take out 74 even, and then maybe we can make a move on that. But for now, we are gonna walk away from that crude trade as it's already gone.
All right, let's go to some of the vaccine names to the downside for the most part as a group this morning as well. Moderna, I'll pick on Moderna a little bit here because it had its own kind of catalyst. They came up with a bit of a plan, it looks like anyways, to fight shareholder proposal that the company make its recipe essentially public for some poor countries in the world, which, obviously enough can be said as to the benefits to that, but apparently they've come up with a plan for that. So down 2.8% for Moderna. There was more data out over the weekend suggesting that Omicron is definitely less severe than the other variants, but also vaccines don't seem to be, a third dose anyways, of vaccines don't seem to be providing much help in the way of support for this.
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, so I guess the third dose is really what you need to sort of battle Omicron, but obviously Omicron doesn't really care. It looks like it just looks right past if you have the vaccine or not, and then just enters. But I mean, the good thing about it is it seems like it's more and more like a cold than any of these deadly viruses that we've seen in the past, and obviously that's a good thing. As the virus mutates downward, it seems like even just our natural antibodies and the body itself and a healthy body could be able to take care of this, which is absolutely fantastic. But obviously there's millions and hundreds of millions of people that have received the vaccine, and the vaccine is working wonders as well. So, I think we're hopefully getting to an end. And I'm not making these statements to be political or anything like that. I just said right there, healthy body's probably one of the best vaccines you can have. But if you've already taken one of the vaccines, again, whether or not it be Moderna, the mRNA technology or whatever, you're going to have to look at the stock and trade that appropriately, regardless of what you think. So I've just seen Moderna come down here to this 220. I thought it was kind of like green. I'm still not in this name. I thought it was green lit on the way back up, and then booster shots and everything, and we make tons of money on all that. But now I don't understand why shareholders, and again, I'm all for bettering the world, and I think that would be the case, especially if they opened up their cocktail. But as I can see here, why would you want to open up your vaccine technology? Now, I don't, unfortunately, like I said, not a shareholder, so I don't know exactly what that means. But to me, you don't want to give the keys to the car for free. And so I just don't know if that's what they're going to be doing here. If they are, I think it's bad news, obviously, for shareholders if they're going to give out this technology. I mean, that's what our note says. And again, I don't really know that much about what's going to happen here to Moderna, but I can't support that. I don't like a company virtually giving away the golden goose here on that. But I do believe in Moderna for future vaccines, for future solutions here as we move forward. Who knows what the next variant? I mean, it was a month ago, right? It was Boxing Day, or not Boxing Day. Yesterday was Boxing Day. It was Black Friday, and I was away, and I remember, that's when Omicron came through. I remember selling some of my crypto, then buying it right back, a little bit lower, thank God for that, because the world was fading out to an end, right? And now we see that it's not as deadly. It's more transmissible, but not as deadly. So for me, I cannot support Moderna down at these levels. I would be a seller of any sort of pop, especially one back up to 250. For me, that's where, I'd be looking to sell Moderna back up near Friday's close, or I guess it's Thursday's close of 250. I just don't see this story as being a good thing for shareholders, a great thing for the world, but not a great thing for shareholders. I really do hope that they open it up and give an opportunity for maybe some cheaper, opportunities for some of these poorer countries to get vaccines in bodies. So I'm for this plan, but I'm not for Moderna shareholders with this stock, not right now. So.
Yeah, for me, I stay away from Moderna. As anyone who's watched the show knows, it's not one of those. My accuracy on Moderna is not that good. So I walk away and then go towards NVAX because I get a better read on NVAX, and I'm still going to do that today. The only problem with NVAX, though, I'm noticing is that the range is so wide that I need to work with. Like, this is the daily chart. My stop that I want to work with is down here, 150. We're not even close. We're sitting at 169 and change. So it does seem like I'm going to stay away from Moderna and, well, Moderna for a fact. NVAX, if we can get maybe south of 170. So I need another 10 10-point move on NVAX to the downside before I decide, you know what, we're in support zone. Maybe I can look for a long. And to the upside, again, it's not clear to the upside. So I think I'm going to take a step back, walk away from these, specifically NVAX. And maybe if Pfizer does something that I can actually work with, then we'll go over there. But for now, we're going to take a step back and wait for NVAX. Maybe follow $10. If it does, hey, I'll play.
Before we go back to Brendo here, I just want to say something like, I don't know, people are like, I need more coffee. That is true. I do need more coffee. That's for sure. As we go. But I don't know if I don't, like the lights, I always find when we come back from like a 3 or 4 or 5 day, especially when you're on vacation or something like that, and these lights are blasting at your face, man, this is a big difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I just spent I think we all just spent the last couple of days kind of like, Christmas, and then you come in here and it's like, blast, bang, there. So it's like, wow, I guess I could
just blame Rob. It's all Rob's
fault. I could take this to a different direction right now, but so, big shot here on the morning. But you know what I did get though, and it's funny because I don't have it. I was talking about Kiehl's, and I think you know them. And I got exactly what I get every year. The face cream, a shower wash for the face. But then I got this really, and I should have brought it in, and I'm going to bring it in tomorrow. If my wife is watching, let's remember to do this. It's like a roll stick for your eyes. It's like, it like freshens up. Okay. And I feel like I was trying it that morning. I was like, wow, this feels great. It's like, opens you right up. So I'm going to bring that tomorrow because I feel like that's what's necessary here today as we battle the holiday sort of hangover here, ready to rock and roll and trade for you. Look, it's only, you know what we haven't done yet? Let me do this before you throw back to Brendan, because we haven't shown the imbalance locator yet. So let's do that. I know, and I don't even know if anybody on the chat has noticed that, but there's CCL on the sell side. Our boy with Palantir, Trader Pratt, he owns 2 stocks now. Palantir and DKNG. So he's on the, the reopen, the high valuation names. As Palantir coming back in, we'll have some thoughts on that soon as well. Alibaba always on the sell side. Shout out to Trader Brad, who's in the building as well right now. Pins, hopefully we'll talk to him. Hopefully he had a good vacay there or a couple of days for holiday. And then other than that, I don't see much, man. Pins, there's LUV on the sell side. But as you can see, there's a bunch, I don't even know what Mux is here. That's nothing, obviously, a 91 cent stock. Wow, it's done 100 shares today, Mux. Good job, Mux. It's there, and then I don't know what IS is either. This has done 18,000 shares. But other than that, it's been a pretty slow day here for imbalances. We'll wait till 9:25 to get the NASDAQ here, and hopefully that can spark some more trades. But I see people putting in there. Blink, things like that. Oh, by the way, so we also did, and I think I still have some left over. Got to have that tonight. You can't keep open eggnog, and I was reading this, for more than 7 days. So, we'll check that out. I think we're done all our eggnog here, and we're done the booze, so that was a very fun time. And I just want to note, if anyone hadn't tried rum and eggnog before, were you here? You weren't here. We were drinking that pretty good here on Thursday. Anyways, needless to say, let me know what you thought of it in the chat or tweet at me. Thank you for some of the pictures people were tweeting at me over the weekend and on that day about rum and eggnog. But if you haven't had it, I hope you did. We had a few more there over the holidays, along with some nice red wine and then some Prosecco to top off Christmas morning. Did you have any...
No.
Different celebrations? Just kind of out?
We just had a dinner. It's pretty simple. It was somebody made brisket, so.
Oh yeah.
That's my game.
Oh my God.
Jam. What you got? You got a story?
I almost tweeted. I should have took a picture. I probably have one, but I made this prime rib.
Nice.
Christmas Day. Oh geez, man. That was. You know what I did? I actually rubbed it down with coffee. So coffee grinds.
I've heard that before, yeah.
Yeah, you get it really, really finely ground, mixed in with some paprika. You gotta have a little bit of spice in there. Salt, pepper, boom, boom, boom. Had it sit in for a little bit. Throw that bad boy in the oven. Oh man, when I cut through that, oh God. I was even when we're eating, it was kind of like, I was telling everybody, what do you guys think about? I mean, it's my 7-year-old and my 9-year-old. And then plus we had the 19-year-old in the building. He's home. He's on co-op right now. And then it was fantastic. And then on Christmas Eve, so I'm going on a little bit of a rant here. This is kind of what we do here, or what I do anyways. Amazing. Veal cutlet, so fresh veal. Amazing, right? It would have been, and a shout out to my Nana, because it would have been her 100th birthday. She's passed away, but she used to make the best veal cutlets. Lasagna, we had to make a vegetarian lasagna for my brother. He's vegetarian. crazy. Yeah, now we're just starving everybody. That was fantastic. And then the wife made this amazing brioche, cinnamon brioche. I mean, this is the one thing, like, not that I need to put on any weight or anything, but like, I don't even know. I'm not scared to step on the scale here after a very, very eventful holiday season. But shout out to everybody out there that celebrated as well. Happy holidays to you and yours. And that's just a little bit of a quick 3 minutes or so of what my holiday was like. And I hope everyone was good. Brendan, I know, cooks great food as well. So Brendan, you tell me maybe of a memorable food experience maybe you had, and we're just putting him on the spot here, but I'm sure he'll have something this past weekend.
I was at the Four Seasons yesterday for brunch, so that was definitely memorable. I want to mention, though, I actually bought, Sean, a coffee salt. So it was essentially the same thing. It was salt mixed with coffee as a rub for steak, and I put it on steak all the time. It's fantastic. But good call on that one. Yeah. Let's move along, guys, because there's lots to get to here before we get to the open. Tesla. I want to mention Tesla here. The post Elon's almost done selling rally continues here this morning, up another % for Tesla, holding above some of these resistance levels from Thursday, almost at Friday again.
Yeah, Tesla's it's been quite the mover, obviously, ever since the day we cracked 900, and that wasn't too long ago. But here we are, sitting almost at 1100. This is back when we were underneath 900. This is the 21st, and then we kind of dipped from 920 or so down to 890 and change. Nice little rally in the afternoon, then up, and here we are, getting above yesterday's high or Friday's high, and now we're dipping back in a little bit, just a little bit. If you get that dip, I think you're going to have some support to work with, and I think it's not just Friday's high as well. You do have some activity back from the 8th or so. So there's a lot happening in this 1080 to 1075 area. So dips, based on the history of Tesla for the last week or so, it has been pretty strong on dips. And I think that's the case too, given the price point is sitting at. So Tesla, as it comes into that 1075, could get some nice little support here. I think a stop on this would have to be down here around, well, it's aggressive, but it's going to have to be. If you're playing the game, you got to play the game properly, especially in a $1,000 name. So here we are, 1050 would have to be the stop on anything that dips into 1070 and change. So if you want to play Tesla, you got to put up the risk, right? And as everyone knows too, I kind of stay away from Tesla because of the price point and the risk associated with trading something at this price level. Is you can only take so many shares before, and because of the risk being so large, I got to put up 20 points per share, so I got to control the amount of shares I'm taking. That also means that volatility is going to be high, and there's a whole thing associated with me trading Tesla and how bad of a read I get with these kind of names. So I'm going to stay away from it, but I think 1050 has to be the price point. You have some support to work with, so hey, if that's your game, there's your levels.
I saw someone in the chat say Sean doesn't trade Tesla well. Well, thanks for that. Yeah, and if you go back, and I'm embarrassed, I don't even want to show this to Brendan. If you go back to Thursday, I keep saying Friday, but you know, this is what happened to me. So this is Tesla in the afternoon. Basically, $1,000 is right here. It closes at 1,065, and I'm long in here. I'm long at about low teens. So if we zoom in here a little bit on Tesla, and it's just that the problem is I took two fills I should not have, and I think this is where, and again, I don't take that as criticism about Tesla or about the way I trade at all. It's just sometimes I'll find myself in, and you guys know I'll average into a trade, and you know I just get nervous because sometimes I take too many shares too early. And again, here on Tesla, it was like I just didn't want to hold this $10 down to 1,000. We talked about that. So when it broke this VWAP, which was still $4 hit, but again, like $4 hit on Tesla, that should sort of be like a hold my beer level. And so I'm getting better at trying to hold these things and get better reads on them, because there's my top out right there, my tap out, I guess, and boom, it to the upside. And it just took off, man. I mean, realistically, I'm fine with that hit. It's just I should have got back in once I realized that the long was probably working. But again, AMD, and I think I trade AMD really well. But again, I dip it out and I buy low and then sell, you know, in that first minute or two to get that bump. And it's whatever strategy works for you. I had a nearly perfect October and November. We've had about 3 or 4 red days here again in December. But, you know, the profits have to be held on to a little bit more with a name like Tesla, especially that we're close to that 1100 level. Even in my own account, I dumped some at 1020 and didn't buy it back and saw that we had a beautiful, I mean, again, I don't know if the daily chart's going to work on this because we have some of these stupid wicks, but that was, it's going to be hard to look at this, but 800 was 900 right here on the dip down was a great buy for Tesla. I'll have to try to edit that out, and I'll do that after, but it just takes a minute to do it. But 900 was a great dip buy. You're now above the 50-period moving average. This may not be the true 50-period because, again, we have some of these bad wicks. But either way, you're back to 1050, and we're just going to see where it dips down to. But I like Tesla here today. I think, thank you, Mr. Randy, for that coffee. Salute to everybody out there as well. Like I said, although I blame the lights, still need some coffee here. You go up to 1075. That's going to be a little bit of a dip spot. And then we have a $10 range here in the pre-market. So I'm going to wait 4 more minutes, Arun and Brendan, to see where these imbalances come out, and then we'll deal with it from there. CEI, just a quick update, came all the way back. My best out was at 20. These are 6 outs, so that's 60% out. We're still holding 40% of that name. And then MBOT, we haven't taken anything out. I just kind of want to see where this one can go as I hold my coffee here. MBOT has had running opportunities in the past, but as you can see, we've been up here before, and I'm just waiting for this area, 10-20. So I do have an offer out at about 980 or so. See if we can take that. The highest we've gotten is 966 today. I still think an out around this 1050 or so would be the best. But if we can get out just shy of 10 and then take a 10 break, that is what we will do. And I say salute to everybody out there. You can see, whoops, some nice crema on the coffee as I spill a little bit on the... It's not as full. Normally, Valeria puts it all the way to the top, but there we go. We'll drink a little bit of this one and get some napkins.
All right, as Sean's keyboard takes a beating from all the hot coffee that's being poured on it.
It's not even that hot. What is this, Randy?
Let's go back to Brendan. Brendan?
Is it espresso?
Never a dull moment. No. Let's carry on here, guys. Just watching, that MBOT is interesting. Trying to hold that 9 right now. GoDaddy. Is there a trade here? That's the big question, I think, this morning. Wall Street Journal reporting that activist investor Starbird has taken a 6.5% stake in GoDaddy. So light on the volume, but theoretically positive overall, guys.
GoDaddy done 94,000 shares apparently in the pre-market from our system. Our system comes online at 6 a.m., so it's slightly incomplete if there's some activity from late session. Actually, no, 6 a.m. Yeah, it should be accurate, actually, given there was no pre or late market trading on Friday. Here we are on GoDaddy. It is a New York name. So here we are trading just south of 79 and change. Seems a little thin. Not a whole lot. The spread right now is about 24 cents, 23 cents. Not really moving. I think it's decided that it doesn't want to go above 80 just yet, and now wants to sit south of 79. Can we get some activity? Ignore the NYBs, so because New York's closed right now, NYB is going to be locked up. So EdgeX here, 78.98. You got about 300 shares there, 95 on ARCA. So 395 on the offer, about 100 on the bid from Bats. Not a whole lot of volume. I think you got to wait for this one to actually just get going. Here's the thing, though. 80, though, is going to be a nice little price point to work with. Why? That was the high from November the 4th. We got as high as we actually opened at 79.87, and here we are sitting not too far away, but I think if you get above 80, that should open up some stops at least all the way up to 83 and change. There's a nice little gap you can work with going back to August. So there is some space. There's no support anywhere nearby. So I mean, like even this 80 level is not really support. It's just a nice little round number that we kind of opened just underneath back in November. So there's nothing nearby that we can actually use. This has got to be a momentum trade. You get in, you take that shot, you walk away very quickly as it runs, or if it runs, or if it fails, you spin that trade around, you go for the short, and you look for the downward move. I think the closest level in terms of position trading, which is more so what I do, I think the closest level I could work with is down here at 74, 75, and that's going to be still, nice little $4 or $5 move, and it all depends on how it comes down there, given where we are. Remember, this 80 has been a problem. It seems like it's been a problem with the gap above it. So if we were to fall hard off from that level, I would just be like, there's resistance up here, so I'm not going to step right into long on the way down. But if it starts to slow down inside that 75, inside that 74, there could be a nice little trade to work with. So here we are waiting for GoDaddy to open, maybe create some moves either to the upside for momentum trade or to the downside where it slows down south of 75, where we can actually pick up a position and start to maybe kind of work with a 72 stop, put up $3 in risk or so, if we can get a nice little setup. It has to set up though. That's the thing with GoDaddy. At least the way it's been moving around right now, we do need it to set up.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I can't do any more about GoDaddy than that one. Great explanations there. You could see that we traded AMC kind of like a madman the last couple of days, man. We were long early, then we were short. This is all on Thursday. A couple ins and outs, but hey, the volume's been here. 250,000 shares doesn't excite me too much, but AMC is on the sticky note today, and this is just what we're talking about with the sticky note here today on AMC, and it's pretty simple. Support at 28, long into it. There's absolutely nothing else that I'm super excited about here with AMC, and that's just a long into this 28, and that's what we did here. We defended. The only problem is, and I'm going to show you on a 20-minute chart, we did get that dip down, and we were lucky enough to buy it right there on that dip. So new position alert right now. We just got in also to CCL, so it's breaking that little bottom there at 2038. So there's CCL. Whoops, hopefully that, yeah, darn it. We have that wick down. It's going to look silly, but there's the break. So we are now short CCL. You should be able to see that. Yep, okay, good. It's on the board. So short CCL, long CEI that's come back, and long MBOT right now. But we were just talking about AMC. So just look at the 20-minute. Here's a little dip down right there that we took advantage of on Thursday. So I might say Friday, but you guys know I mean Thursday. So there's the dip down in. We took advantage of it. We did get, I just got into another long. BBIO just came in, so it came into that 1250. So another position right there on BBIO. We'll talk about all of these in a minute. Darn, man, we're just getting lit up here with 4 minutes left. I have 4 positions on. But go back to the 20-minute on AMC. So this, I still want to defend this 28. It did take a dip down there. I don't know what that was about. I think people just got either liquidated or they're just so happy with their profits on Thursday, didn't want to hold into the weekend. So you see some big volume spikes off the open, just 2 of them on a 20-minute chart. Then it was like, no, thank you, and started to go back up to the upside before obviously stabilizing there in the afternoon. So right now, AMC, I want to defend this 28. I'm already bidding. I got a 28.20 bid, and I got some lower bids as well. We'll see if it can hold out, but we want to be a little bit patient today with some of these trades. But you can notice now, as I don't know why the NASDAQ's not loading back up here, but we are going for a little dip down. BBIO, just quickly before I give back to Brendan, as we need to get ready to open this market up here in a minute. It just did that dip down, and this is where, into this area. So again, without knowing that much about the stock, we'll see what happens. I'm going to see if we can defend a 12 area. Right now, long 1260. We'll take another bid like 1220, try to defend this area. But BBIO, if we can get this back to 1350 or so, we'll get some out. But we're long right now 1280, 1260. We'll see where that goes. BBIO, CCL, CEI, and MBOT. Let's go over to Brendan quickly, as we only have 3 minutes before we open up, and then we'll check back in on the balances.
Yeah, a few little ones, guys, on the list this morning. Here's one of them, ICCM, 25%, trying to get back to what are we at? 360 right now. 2 things to know. 4 is this gap level. So if we get above 394 is that gap level that would fill that gap, and then above that, there's not much until 450. So yeah, it's $3, but it does trade in quite a wide range. 4 up here, 450 above that for ICCM.
All right, going back to imbalances, here we are. Everyone wants to take a look at these imbalances. This is NASDAQ and New York and AMEX all put together. At the top of the list, you see CCL, 488K to the sell side, MUX buy side, 477. The largest New York NQ, SHCR, sell side 200K, and SNDL, sell side 200K. So you're not getting a whole lot of activity on the NASDAQ side of things, and even New York ones are somewhat small. There was a question, Arun, can you explain position trading? I mean, I don't know if that's the official term, but what I like to do is I like to find levels, the large levels that I can work with, and then I'll just kind of build up a position around it, and then I'll wait. And some trades take forever. So I've been in some trades from 8:30 in the morning and close them out at like 3:45. So they do take forever. So there's the momentum aspect of it where you're in and you're out very quickly, or more my style, which is kind of like waiting for major levels to kind of fill up, build up. It's almost like a swing trade, but within an intraday time frame. So I'm building it up throughout the day, and then I'll just kind of dump it towards the end as it starts moving. So just a quick explanation on what I do and how I kind of go about trading.
I kind of wish that CCL had actually opened up a little bit higher and it would smash this downside. But we are waiting here for more CCL shares to come through. Like, honestly, I feel like if we're going to be wrong on this name, It's going to have to be upside here, like 21.50, something like that. And I talked to Arun about this even before the market opened. Like there's this 20.80 level there. I think we'll try to get some more shares into that. And then I do want to hold it. And if we do get blown out near the top, I don't know why that would happen unless there's some more information coming out about the variant where it's already out. And I think it's already just super transmissible, but not that dangerous, it appears. So for that one, we'll see where it goes. But for right now, I want to average into the CCL. And I'm just waiting to get something out here around 20s. And then hopefully we can dip down. I still think there'll be some resistance at 20 flat. So that I have the countdown today, by the way. So it's probably Randy. There he is. I see him over my shoulder there. So we'll get ready for Randy. MBOT's starting to run as well with only a few seconds to go. AMD was a name that's on the sticky note that we didn't get a chance to talk about. Oh, man, it's already going upside. So this stock continues to work every day, it seems like. Back up to 148, 149 the top there on Friday, Thursday. That's going to be a name that we're going to look at as well. I want to buy dips. I wrote down 144, but again, who knows if that's going to come into play here early. If it does dip down, I think more like a 146.30 or so coming in with only 10 seconds to go. We'll hit that key. We're going to get ready to rock and roll now as Randy's on the bell. I'm going to put some bids in 146. With only 5 seconds to go. Here we go, Randy. 3, 2, and 1. And we are now ready to rock and roll.
All right, what is that?
Hallelujah. AMC dips all the way down, man. We got some nice little offers going on through on AMC. Let's see. We just took a bid at 26. Let's now see where AMC goes. It is open. Out quickly at 40. Starting to run upside now. AMC, we have that one on. BBIO, hell yeah. We got a nice 13 print there on BBIO. So in there, 1260, out 13. Let's see where we go on this name. And AMC trying to run as well.
Yeah, how do you like them apples? Because Apple taking off to the upside here. Nice little pop on Apple, now up 50 cents here. We're along 177.01, and it is trading hard and fast to the upside. Let me see if I can get you guys a level 2. Oh, no, that's Coinbase. Apple, here we go. Apple to the upside, 177.70. Now 70 cents in the money and still running. As you can see on my screen, there are some more alerts coming off, so I am going to go through and see if I can look at alerts that went off. Home Depot, Coin, LABU, and HUT. All alerts that went off that I need to look at to see if I can find some trades there.
Yeah. Oh, HUT went off.
HUT went off.
Yeah,
right?
HUT is going nuts right now. Probably. This is another name I was talking about getting my father into some HUT, and yeah, good. Up a little bit here, up 3%. So that's a good trade today. I won't cover it because you're looking at that breaking through 9 as that's starting to go. CEI right now again back up to 10s. Let's go, charts. I don't know. Like charts need to wake up too today. Hopefully we can get something out again in the high teens. We'll look to that. AMC though, man, we got some out at 40. We're still looking to defend. We have another bid down here, 28 lows. It was actually at 12. It went down to 17. So maybe we'll get that filled again. But AMC lows is what we're looking at here. Not just to defend the 28. I think we can get out. Like if it dips, I just don't want to be part of this dip all the way to 27. So if it dips down here, 27.80 or so, that should be a level where we're a little bit concerned about AMC. Dipping down to, because we don't want to be, stuck with this one as a falling knife here on AMC. So hopefully we can get back up to the upside right now. Just looking for some areas of concern here. What's this little drop? Yeah, that's 27.80 or so on a dip down. We don't want to get burned too bad here by AMC, but right now it's a stock of concern. Everything else is working out for us.
Yeah, and there goes the futures. Anyone wondering, hey, nice little 8-point pop. We've seen this almost for 4 days in a row now. Since Tuesday, it's been a pop on the right off the open, move to the upside, and then we kind of run, and then we slow down a little bit, and then we kind of figure things out, and then we kind of come back a little bit towards the end. So here goes the futures now. 3 points from all-time highs, 43 quarter or so. Yeah, everything's taken off. If you don't have it already, it's gonna be hard to get your hands on. I'm trying to get my hands on Coin. 270 is what I'm trying to get my hands on, and it's already at 273. But I still like the trade. I'm gonna leave the order there. So Coin gone. That's one of the alerts that went off. Microsoft just Microsoft alert went off because it popped just north of 337. It is back, back a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of reset that alert. So when it goes back one more time, and then CRM also, I'm looking at north of 255. That's another name that has backed off from that. No, it just went back above 255. So CRM, looking at 255 potential longs here. If we can maintain this strength, I'm going to give it a little bit because so many alerts went off. That means everything's popping with the futures moving up. I just want to see what happens when everything kind of calms down a little bit, because futures at some point have to kind of just relax a little bit. So I'm going to wait for them to do that. And then once I get that information, I'm going to go and start sending orders into these names that I have alerts on.
Yeah, Facebook up 2% right now. Roblox up 1.5% as I just look around. Apple up. Tesla trying to test again. So CCL there, I saw what you wrote there, Daryl. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it did defend $20. You know, we did take some piece out already. We talked about that. That's like a whopping 15 cents. So we're not super happy. We're happy with it. We got a 25 off of 40 short. So that was a good. I guess it was 13 cents. Hey, what happened to my coffee, Ms. V? Yeah, but this coffee is way too cold. Don't worry about it. Get it after. Okay, there it goes. I was jealous about your tea there. But okay, CCL now dropping back down again. $20.10 now is where we're going to try to take a piece out. If it does come in, we'll just celebrate that victory as it looks like it's coming back in now. CCL, let's just do that ahead of that level. And then AMC, we've just been defending 28. We did take a little bit out when it dipped back down in, but you can see it resisted twice now, 27.60. So we'll see about that one as it's going. Yeah, just pour it on my keyboard, Ms. V, when you come back. That would be great for that one. But so far, so good on a lot of these names. We're able to hold AMC. BBIO, we already took it out for 35 cents or whatever it was on that upside, and it's just dancing around right now. So a few names that we're looking at. Facebook continuing to ride to the high side. There goes Apple, touched what, 178 or so? It's almost there again. Tesla, 1082.
Oh, wow. My screen is full of alerts. That's all I see are alerts. Okay, I can't go there every single one of them because I got to figure out trades for them, but I'm going to just name them out. BABA above 120, Microsoft above 337, Walmart above 140, CRM above 255. I'm waiting on Home Depot to get above 400, Qualcomm above 184.
Yeah.
Gush, GUSH above 88. Why is that there? It's not even close by. And HUT, I'm waiting to get back above 9. Brennan?
Yeah, I think that's a ETF. I think energy ETF. I mentioned this one, Next ID, NXTD. We talked about it briefly in the pre-market. A couple of days last week. Big moves higher, held 420 on the pullback there. Huge volume came in on the buy side for Next ID, guys.
All right. Let's keep going, guys. Yeah, let's just keep on trying to run with what we're trying to do here. Palantir gap between 23 and 24. I don't know. AMC does appear to be dying a little bit. We will see what happens here moving forward. CCL 25. Oh, we almost got printed there at the bottom. There it is. So we're out there at 10 on CCL. So yeah. That was a good trade there. Now let's see what happens when we break 20. It looks like that's going to be something to execute against here. I don't know, though. 20 is a key level. Maybe we'll go long, but we are going to obviously try a little bit of a drop down here on that name. If it does break 20, we will go short, but that one I'm not in love with, that's for sure. AMC, here we go. So we're saying WTF on this one as it's starting to go back up to the upside. So we did hold some of that thing. Well, some of it. We held most of this name as AMC just takes off right there. AMC up, and away as we continue to go upside here on AMC. Wow, 50 now cents in the money. This is my largest trade of the day, obviously. As this starts to go, we just got some out there near the day's high. 28.80, 28.77 now on the upside there of AMC as it continues to go. So nice move to the upside. Here we go. Let's go upside AMC. We just took a little bit out there, but now it's starting to fade in. I do really like that play there on AMC, guys. But other than that, nothing else really popping for me too much. And there she goes. Sorry about that, Ms. V. I didn't mean that to come across.
This one's better.
Good. Oh. Thank you. This one's better. So thank you, Ms. V, for that one. Yeah, didn't mean to say that. I just get so excited about this coffee. So Ms. V, the hardest working person here. I think there's no doubt about that one. How are you looking right now, Brendan? Arun?
Yeah. Okay. So you may have accidentally saw BABA show up on my screen. Yeah, that was because I accidentally made a keystroke error there. It would have been a great price, but I didn't want to get long there. So I am looking to get BABA long. I accidentally punched into it earlier, and now I'm still trying to get some. I just want to wait just a tiny bit longer before I step into BABA. I like the trade north of 120. Let me see if I can pull the chart for you guys here. Yeah, ignore that accidental trade. I still walked away net positive on that mistake, but here we are looking to kind of wait for BABA a little bit more before I step in, but I do like that trade north of 120 on BABA. Home Depot is back. Oh my God, I can't step into longs. There's way too many longs on this board. Okay, we're just gonna ride Apple, and then I'm gonna have to price some other trades that are just starting to work because I had Nvidia north of 300. It's already at 301. Coin I had north of 270, and coins, I don't even know where coin is because I kind of moved it away. It's at 274.50. So we got to walk away from coin. That's already gone. So let me go ahead and cancel that order.
Crypto's going nuts right now.
So I have way too many alerts that I got to go through.
Cardi B, Cardano is up to 156 right now. And just a quick look here. Oh man, that always shrinks. For me, but here's a quick look. We just got into something else there. We can review that. But here's a quick little look on the crypto space here. We'll have to refresh this as I notice. Come on, CoinGecko. We'll do this afterwards. We'll check that out. I'll just refresh that after. Okay, so we just got in and out of something. BBIO. So we actually just got more BBIO. So okay, let's get out of some of this one as it's starting to run upside as well here on the NASDAQ. We actually got a beautiful fill down low there on BBIO in the 20s. We talked about defending that level, but it doesn't really matter until I can get out. So now let's just struggle here to get me out of some of this BBIO. I'm just starting to go back up to the upside. So yeah, let's go. Good long, defended. Let's see where we go from here as that's starting to make a move. And then, again, another name that, we love this name, but at the same time, only trading it against what it's doing, and that is Nikola. Long in and in, so we're trying to defend these levels. We talked about this, another name that's on our super chat, starting to go now, Nikola. AMC still that 30 cents in the money. Really happy with this trade, man. CEI kind of faded out, not doing much here. We'll wait to see if that trades through. But AMC, another out here near 50, I think makes sense for me to do that. As that's continuing to run, we did, again, defend beautifully, I think, anyways, that 28 level. We only got out of a little bit when it broke. That's like 20%. We should have reloaded down here where we have in the past. But let's see if AMC continues to make a move up. And now it looks like, guys, my crypto is starting to work here. So let's do that quickly. Bitcoin, this is what I mean. 7 days up 10%. What a great move for Bitcoin. I guess the death of crypto, well overstated there so far anyways, but it is down from its high. We already know that. Ethereum, all these are down from their high. Solana back to 203, and this is the big one that I'm super happy about. Cardano. Last week I was talking about buying at that 125 level. Literally my last buy I think was 127, so that's working. Polkadot up 30%, Matic, Polygon, everything rocking, rolling right now in the crypto space. BBIO rolling. What's up, Brendo?
Just watching some of the EV names, guys. Fisker popping up to the downside, however, 2.5% here. Just got flushed from 1690 all the way down to 1650. Pretty thin, to say the least, though, for FSR, but volume coming back in.
Another name that's popping strong. Now, I picked up BABA, by the way. I picked up BABA at 120.13, so we are back in BABA. Priced properly, exactly where I want it to be, and it is moving fast and to the upside. So we're already 40 cents in the money on the BABA position I just picked up seconds ago as BABA takes off. Now it's at 120.75, up 55 cents. Apple's still going strong, so we can be comfortable on that. Futures still doing, they're kind of stalling out here around 47.40, so we'll be okay with that one there. I am looking at Home Depot north of 400, but the one I want to talk about is NVIDIA here. NVIDIA north of 300. It's already at 302. Damn. Okay, 302. I was looking at 300 and change on NVIDIA here. Why? Because what we did here on Friday. We kind of stalled out around this 300. The fact that we can actually get up north of 300 and still go strong, even though it's at 302, I think the idea of a long is still in play on a pullback. It has to be on a pullback. I don't want to price it this high up. So as long as we can get a nice little move to the upside and then a nice little pullback here, we are $2 from that price point. So any move to the downside that isn't just aggressive, but a nice little, slow trickle to the downside, I guess is what I would expect or hope for. As long as we can get that, I think NVIDIA is still nice long. I'm going to try to price this somewhere around this 350, somewhere south below, underneath 301, but between 350 and 300 even. So somewhere in there, so I can actually put the stop up. The stop is going to be 296 and change, somewhere south of 296. So I'll put up about $4 or so if I can't get that trade there. But we are waiting on NVIDIA to come down just a bit so I can actually get that trade.
I mean, I didn't even make that much money off this rally, but we called this last Tuesday early. We called the Santa Claus rally early. It is supposed to be the last 5 days of the market, and that's what's happening right now. And you could see, up 0.8 right now. Santa Claus rally has happened. It's averaged 1.4% in the S&P, and it's happened 35 of the last 45 years. So that's making a move right to the upside. And there goes AMD with it, man. A couple of the last buys that I've made. There goes Nikola as well. by the way, now up 17 cents. We've been taking this out on the upside. That's been a good trade for us. Our CCL has been a great trade for us. Our AMC has come back in, but this has been a really great trade for us so far here today. But I did want to look at AMD. We talked about buying some dips in this name. No, that does not come. That does not even come even close here on AMD, as it's still up to 150, 150.80 now and continuing to go. Your Apple's moving nicely. Tesla, man, wow, Tesla, for those of you in this name, continues to make moves. Actually, BBIO is one of my top stocks today as well. Tesla bounced clean off of 11, by the way. So Tesla just bounces clean off that 1100 and now barcoding a little bit. Watch out. If this NASDAQ does fall, this may be a name that you want to short. It's already up 2%. It's up double what the market's up. So Tesla right here on a market falling back in might be a name to consider here for a short trade. It's coming in to break this level right here on VWAP. A 20-minute chart, I can't do it. That sucks. But you can see back into here. Again, I still think you need to, before you're really worried, we got to go down $30. And I don't think that's anywhere from happening. But if the market does fail at the top end right now, Tesla's probably one to short as we bounce clean off of 1100. So this is a name to look at if you're looking short, in my opinion anyways. As AMC now almost back to these low levels again. So something to look at here for AMC. We'll try another average down here, 27.80. We don't want to miss this dip by this time.
Yeah, okay, so NVIDIA I was talking about was at 302. Yeah, it's at 304. So you have a tech run, absolute tear to the upside. So I'm going to start looking to take some profit on this Apple, which is up $1.28. So we are looking to get out some in front of this 50 level. I think going up, given how fast it's moved, I think we got to get some out soon before we get a nice little pullback. So for me, I'm going to start looking to cash some Apple out soon. And I'm looking for Microsoft longs. I'm still looking for Microsoft longs around that 337 level. So here we are at 337, 65, 70 now. So a nice little, again, this is just like NVIDIA, but given how fast NVIDIA has gone, it's already at 304. I think now we're going to have to kind of move away from NVIDIA and put the focus towards Microsoft. So as long as we can get a trickle towards that 337, Microsoft longs are still on board. I can still go ahead and take that shot. And also, I'm looking to find a long. I know MasterCard is falling hard and fast, but at the same time, I am looking to pick up a long at some point. I just need to slow down just a tiny bit before I decide to go ahead and take a long as I watch Apple actually fall off from the level, which I was very close to getting out of. Brendan?
Some of the Chinese stocks, guys, popping up. Here's FUTU. 12% straight to the upside. It's already gone 42 up to 46. I saw a note in the pre-market talking about how strong Chinese stocks and Chinese markets were, in fact, overnight. So a little bit of follow through. Remember, this one does have ties to the crypto markets as well for FUTU.
I kind of want to trade SOPA right now. Oh man, we got some questions about SOPA last week, as you guys remember. I was gonna say I kind of want to short Tesla right now, but yeah. No, I didn't forget. I did not forget about AMD. I'm only in 6 positions or 5 positions right here, so there's only so much I can do. But SOPA right now, we talked about this last week. Getting out, guys, if it did break below the 16 level. So right now, Society Pass down nicely, down to 12% here. Looking at some of these key level. Whoa. Let's get that off. Looking at this key level here of 13. So we'll see if SOPA Society Pass can test down there. We are waiting to get longer on AMC. And then here's BBIO. It's been a good trade for us so far today. 1 minute chart though, in and out, in again and out. And now we have a very, very small piece left on this name, BBIO. So let's wait to see, obviously, if it takes down 12, then we will be out. But I can't believe that last rip, man. We got a long, and then this was crazy. Like, it just instantly, like, we're sitting there. We got this long, and then instantly popped up, and we were able to take that profit. So that's why this is one of my top stocks here today. Nothing really falling on its face there. We were good to get out of some Nikola, but obviously not enough, as Nikola right now came all the way. We only got out of 40%. So this is coming back down. We did want to look at, again, looking at this area of $11, holding out for 1080. So we do have another bid. Let's just make sure where it is. It's at 20. I'm going to pull this a little bit lower here. The bottom's 27. I think we can probably put a bid maybe at 20 even. We were at 26. Let's see if we can get a bid around 20 even here on Nikola. And then we did average in. So we did take another reload on this one here on AMC. So we got reloaded. And again, I keep saying this and I don't do it, but I got to talk to Rob about getting some more things on the deck here. But 27.80, we're going to watch out for this 27.60. We did note that last Thursday, AMC did have this break of 28, kind of like what's happening right now, down to 26.70 or so. So you got to watch out for that level there. 27 is where we broke through on that day, so we'll watch out for that. I don't want to average it until we get a little bit lower on AMC.
All right, I just picked up some longs on Qualcomm as well, QCOM. So one update with Apple. I guess I was being a little greedy with the prices. Anyways, I was a couple cents off from getting that fill on Apple. So once it started to fall through 178, I knew I wasn't going to get that fill. The odds of me getting that fill were very low. I was like, you know what, there's no point in holding on. Let's bank at least $1 on the first half of this position. So here we are, 177.01 long. I got 97, I think, on the exit here. So I made 96 cents on the first half. We're going to ride the rest out. So now I've got Baba Long up $1. We've got Apple up 89 cents, and we've got Qualcomm up 26 cents as we go to Brendan. Valeria.
Hey Arun, and hey guys, I know it's a busy morning, and here I am to remind you that it's like o'clock, which means we would really appreciate if you smash the like button right now. It's almost 10 a.m. and we're still not at 1,000 likes even. So please, 5,000 viewers, make sure to like this video. Your support means so much to us. Back to you guys.
Yes, thank you, Miss V, one more time. Thank you for that. Let's get these like counts up here. We're here working. I mean, I don't think you were saying that it was a record drive in for you today.
Oh, yeah.
Similar for me as well, as we're the only people working, it seems like, today. So shout out to everybody, especially our hard-working team that is here today with us. Brendan, Randy, Arun, Valeria, and Trader Prad going to get ready to rock and roll about an hour as well. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, they also know how to do things, guys, over in the UK, because not only today is a holiday, but tomorrow is also a holiday in the UK for Christmas and Boxing Day. So heads up there. This is not Lucid that you're familiar with. This is Lucid Diagnostics. So LUCD, big move, 15% here, back above 550 after holding below it all pre-market long.
All right. You know what? I think also here in Canada, Brendan, I think we have today and tomorrow off. I'm pretty sure. I think there's some
At least today. I think it's Boxing Day. For anyone who's part of the British...
I think you get Christmas and Boxing Day.
Wasn't that Friday? No?
No, I think Friday, was either a half day for many people. Anyways, I don't know what government holidays are, but we're here working for you, and we don't have any breaks. Someone said, well, what are we drinking on Thursday? But we're open Friday. So the market's open all day Friday. So we're not drinking anything on Thursday. We will have some champagne going through the old gullet on Friday of this week. So Friday is actually New Year's Eve, right? So that should be fun there as we work all through. And then there's not even a holiday Monday. So yeah, thanks. So thanks for that, market. I love being in, but we love taking holidays as well. What about 345 here on Facebook? As that's just been a monster to the upside. I'm really glad that I'm way overweighted on tech right now, as a lot of these names just killing it today. Even Roblox up that 1.5%, Tesla up 1.5%. You're already on Apple, as that's been back and forth, but that's typical of Apple. And then there's Facebook right now trying to take out this 345. We're still a ways away. We're only at 343.50, but you can see this has been an aggressive move back up, and actually touching down here near VWAP was a nice move as well, down to 342. So we'll see if that can come back in a little bit. So we averaged in right here on AMC. So this one could be a problem. We're giving back what we made on this. So that sucks, because we averaged into this. We were able to take most of it out on the upside, but now we take another spot right here as this becomes a problem now, as it's dipping down into 27. So for AMC, we've already dipped down to 27 and held that last time we went as low as 26.80. I'm going to hold out for that price one more time. And then, hey, we'll take one more bid lower, and then hopefully we don't get stopped out. But this is what I've been talking about. This has been a problem for me, holding in and averaging in. So we're going to try to, do better on that in the new year for sure. And then that's included right now, and not get longer AMC until we get down here. So let's see if this trade's going to work out. We can lose on a few trades here, and it might be this one as we'll wait. I don't know, maybe we even wait for this very bottom, but I'm sort of looking at that wicked bottom there of 26.80. So we'll see if we can get some more love down here near 27 flat, but we'll wait for this 26.80 to make a decision on what we want to do at that level. But so far, not so good on this AMC long, but I am looking to pick up some Facebook on a dip.
Yeah, all right. So I just picked, no, I didn't pick it up. I just put the order out. For MasterCard, I am trying to get some longs on MasterCard. There we go. We got some longs on MasterCard. So now we are long 4 times. Apple, the one big winner that we had early, has started to come off a little bit here. I'm just going to trail this one out. I think, I don't want to say the run is over on Apple, but at least like I've made my money on Apple. So in the event that we were to crack south of, I think it's time for me to dump the Apple trade and walk away from this. Yeah, do I want to dump it? Not yet. We'll give it a chance, actually, around this price point. But I am going to move the stop up just somewhere south of 50 on Apple, just to give it a chance. In the event it does crack, I think we're going to walk away from this and call it a day, at least on Apple, and we'll figure out what to do with the rest. BABA is still running strong with $1.27 in the money. Qualcomm has come off a little bit, and MasterCard, I'm probably losing on the spread, given how thin MasterCard is. Yeah, the spread is like 45 cents. Okay, so here we are, long 4 stocks, right? And Apple's coming off, BABA's still going. Futures were just 43 and 47.43 quarter was the all-time high. We cracked that. We went all the way up to 46 and change, but I think given the way futures are moving and given where they're priced, you have to look at 47.50 as the big level. It is sitting just above, where's my futures chart, the daily futures chart right here. It is sitting, not too far away, but we are in striking distance of taking the 50 out. I would imagine 47.50 is where majority of stops are for anyone who's trying to play the short side or even looking to get longs. I think once we expand past the top end of 47.50, you're going to get that move. Futures coming off a little bit. That means Apple comes off. The big tech names, the big index names are coming off. Qualcomm is coming off. It is not at the top of the list, but it is there in terms of weighting. So we are seeing some movement to the downside from some of these big tech names. Let's take a quick look at Facebook, because I know Facebook was taking off to the upside aggressively this morning. 338, yeah, we were trying to get some longs here around 337. Never got them. It went all the way to 344, and now it's backing off a little bit at 342 and change. So you are getting a pullback in a lot of these names. Am I really worried about any of these? Not really. I think Apple has run its course for that read, and we are going to wait to see. CRM actually.
I'm getting out of some. Yeah, what is up with CRM?
CRM is it keeps going back and forth around that 255. If I need to get above 255, let's get it above 255. Let's trade above 255. And once that kind of stays up there, I'll go ahead and take a long there. And then Microsoft as well. But Microsoft, I was looking at 337, and Microsoft is sitting just south of 339. It was at 70 and change. Now it's at 66. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get that fill. I got to cancel that Microsoft order. Actually, no, I already canceled it. And here we are waiting for some more. What else do we have? I've got AMD. I'm still trying to get an AMD fill as well. AMD longs in front of 149 I'm looking for. Where is AMD? Let's take a quick look at AMD. Yeah, it's almost at 150. I'll leave the order there. We were so close. Were we really that close? Okay. So we're not getting that, and Microsoft just took out 339. So a lot of these moves are happening, and I think if you didn't catch them right when they were priced in, you kind of missed out, as we saw from some of these sharp movers. Even as the market comes back, Microsoft is putting brand new highs just north of 339. All
right. Yeah, good look there on Mr. Softy. We love some Softy there as it's starting to go back up to the upside. Unfortunately, though, our AMC is a little drunk sailor here, just continuing to make moves. Oh, darn it. Continuing to make moves to the downside. We did take our last little bump there to the downside, and hopefully that is the last move, and we can get out of this one successfully, because AMC right now making a move back to the downside, and we just took one last average, and hopefully that's going to be the case as it can make its move back up to the upside here. We're long AMC 2707, and I'm not loving life at all on this name right now. So let's just see where it goes. Maybe we retrace back up to the upside, but we are going to use some of these outs that we talked about down here, 2650 or so on AMC. So that's a name, obviously, that we're going to be concerned with here moving forward, and that's going to be AMC. Other than that, man, our Nikola, we did a nice little average price here. I'm hoping this one can work out as we bought some bottoms there on Nikola. And again, I hate this. I don't want to say I hate the stock, but I mean, it's not a great stock. I mean, we've talked about that over and over again here with Nikola. But if we can, I mean, I don't want to say we picked up a good buy. We were waiting down here. I don't know why we didn't get longer down there. I thought we actually did, but it doesn't look like we did. So Nikola right now struggling near this bottom side. I thought we got a better long. That's the pickup I thought we got, but we did get a 21. Now our average price on Nikola is 33. So let's see if it keeps going to the upside here. Nikola, this might be worth cashing out as we we've dipped down quite nicely there, and we're playing a little bit of a rebound. So we are long at 33. I thought I got those 05. I don't know why I didn't get this 05. I'm assuming that wick didn't happen there on NKLA. But let's take some pressure off this name as it's just bumped back up to the upside. I really got to worry more about it. You said short Tesla, and I didn't wait. Thank made my wage. So you're welcome there. I guess you said short Tesla. I didn't wait. So let's have a look to see what Tesla is all about. Thank you no matter what for the super chat, no matter where Tesla's at right now. Thank you for that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I was talking about, shorting it into this area, 1100, as we've made a top. This is going to be a good short right now, I think, for Tesla. But again, it's just about the market. If you think the market's going to crash, then I would short Tesla for sure, because Apple's remained pretty high on the upside. Tesla gave back their $20 already off of its high, 1100, down to 1080. So this is a name that I do like for the short side. Can't believe I'm stuck long on AMC, man. That really sucks. Nikola back up. Let's take a piece off, like I said, back up to 36 here on Nikola.
All right, I'm watching Baba absolutely come back now. Baba, that long north of 120, yeah, it was like $1.50 in the money, and now it's like 40 cents in the money when it comes all the way back. For the person that was asking me about position trading or the way I'm setting up stuff, the issue is you have big winners, but at the same time, you give back a lot. And a lot of the times, if you end up giving back a lot, the losses end up being huge. So here we are, after having $1.50 in the money on Baba. The reason why I don't cash out, it's not because I'm being greedy, it's because I'm looking for certain targets, right? It has to make sense in terms of risk reward. When you put up the risk, take the long, it has to make sense. Obviously, you're going to adjust it on the way, but given how fast it's moving, you're not adjusting that quickly. So I am moving the stop, but at the same time, it's not as fast as the stock is moving. So here we are waiting as Baba comes back now, 23 cents in the money, as was from $1.50. So we're waiting for these futures to pop up, maybe take Baba with it. And I'm noticing that Qualcomm is back in the money now. Nice little bounce here off this little support area around that 84. So that's kind of getting back to flat. And then MasterCard as well, kind of figuring out what it wants to do around 358. So that's almost back in the money as well. I'm probably going to be down on the spread anyways, given the spread is like 40, 50 cents. So we are waiting for these positions to play themselves out. And we are waiting to find some more, as I just noticed that Baba is now negative for me. Brendan?
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at how we're doing here so far to kick off a new week. S&P 0.5% to the upside. The Dow about a quarter, 0.45 for the Russell there, but the 2,000 struggling. Big flush. It was gapping up initially, but big flush off the open for small caps. NASDAQ nicely higher, the composite and the 100. 0.8, 0.6 we'll call it for the NASDAQ. NYSE 0.2 there. You can see Toronto closed, as we mentioned, for the holiday today, but futures are actually trading that we saw earlier in the pre-market. So a nice look overall to start the holiday week. We'll call it, even though it is a full week. DD was on the list this morning. All kinds of volume so far right out of the gate, but really hasn't done much. Just testing some of the levels we saw back on Thursday for DD. On that headline, again, if you missed it, they're not going to allow employees to sell their shares of the company. Was wondering if GoDaddy was going to give us a trade this morning. 80, I guess, was a bit of a break. It's super thin, all the way up to 82.5 for GDDY, guys.
All right, I'm still looking at AMD. As Baba comes back in, Baba's the saddest trade I've made so far. It was a nice winner, and now it's turning into a loser. As I watch it, I'm like, oh man, I've lost ground on Baba. I'm going to give it a chance to play itself out, so we may have to just kind of wait through this one here. The one I'm really looking at, though, is AMD. Hello, I like to participate in this. I have a bid out, but now it's gone, north of 151 and change. Here it is. I think this trade's close. I got to cancel this order. This is not getting filled. I priced that way too. I guess I thought I priced it properly, but I guess it wasn't high enough because they didn't really get back below 29, 30. So missed out on that trade. That would have been a nice little long on AMD. That's a missed opportunity. But here we are. Qualcomm starting to move finally, 25 cents in the money. And futures starting to creep back up. This helps my case. I've got 3 longs. I'm still looking for some shorts. If anyone's got ideas on what shorts I can potentially put on the board, or anything that's running extremely hot right now, maybe straight to the upside that can potentially fade as it gets into resistance, I'd like to keep an eye on that. So if you can put that in the chat, I'll definitely look into them for potential shorts. Brennan?
Oh, it's Miss V.
Miss V.
Here we go, Miss V. I apologize for before.
It's all good.
All right, so I don't have my mic on, but maybe we should have.
John's getting back to his desk.
We should have stayed on Miss V there, but I had to get that water because obviously before we had a coffee mishap there. And not only that, but I spilled coffee all over my place here. Okay, so there it is. That's a little bit of a water refill.
Okay.
And I do want to salute Hydration Nation.
Yes, sir.
So let's go. Even though both our waters are closed. So there we go. We'll salute that. Nicola, back up to the upside there. I come back to the desk here and notice that we did get a fill there at 50 on AMC. So what a great dig that was, man. We talked about being patient there. And there it is. A good little long coming for us on that. And again, the one thing that I've learned, honestly, through all of this is just that, hey, what's up, Daniel Shea? Liked one of my tweets there. Shout out to Daniel Shea. She will be on here. I'll put it on Twitter here. Hopefully, I don't know if she's going to be watching, but Daniel Shea, a great friend of the show. We had her on before. Let's see, what are her cloud picks here? Adobe, Mond. Okay, all right. And then she has Salesforce and Microsoft there. Obviously, I prefer these last two there, but she'll be on. There it is right there. We are looking forward to having Daniel Shea on today at 2:50 p.m. She's the options queen, basically. I'm going to call her that. I'm going to see what she wants me to call her. But Daniel Shea, a great guest coming on. We'll retweet that as well. But we are looking forward to having Daniel Shea on the show at 2:50. Great mind down there in Dallas, and I believe Dallas anyways. And we'll talk to her about options. I might even ask her about AMC and is there a call option or something that she would be looking at if she thought that there was a run coming on this name. One thing that you're supposed to have for sure would be this, guys. AMD 151. That is absolutely an amazing move to the upside here for AMD all day, up 4% here and continuing to run here on AMD. Again, on our watch list, we were hoping for a pullback, but there's been absolutely no pullback. As a shareholder, super happy, but a little disappointed that we're not in this name right now. That's AMD. Let's go.
AVCT, guys, big mover last week, volatile week once again for this one. A lot of people talking about this, but just made new highs there. You can see popped up on a volume scanner for AVCT once again.
AVCT. That was, why was that? That name sounds familiar for some reason. Were we not trading this on? No, we weren't. Okay, I was looking at it earlier that it is taking off north of 270, I guess highs. I don't know. Here's the issue I have with AVCT. I'll trade them. I don't care what the price is, but they've got to clear some resistance, at least from the daily side of things. And I go back and I'm like, oh, we hesitated around this 260 and change. And then you see that spike here on the 10th all the way up to 320. And I'm like, then I go back here. I'm like, 350. And it becomes a whole mess. So I'm just going to be like, nah, I'll walk away from this one. But I am still trying to get some longs here. What am I still trying to pick up? I'm still trying to pick up CRM. We talked about CRM earlier. Around that 255, we broke, we waited, it kind of came down to 253.75-ish, and then finally took it again. Now I'm trying to get that fill, see if I can't get a fill on the pullback. As the futures put in new highs, here we are, about 2 points from that 50 mark. I imagine when we cross 50 or we get to 50, if we can get to 51, I would imagine stops are going to get triggered north of 47.51 or so. There should be a flush or a run up, at least to the upside. I saw you guys put Rivian as a potential short candidate. Rivian is super strong to the upside. The only problem I have with Rivian, at least, is that although I may want to short this, the closest level that I want to work with is like 112. So, I mean, it's nowhere near where I'd be comfortable with the risk on shorts on Rivian. Remember, 106.75 was the IPO opening price. So that's provided some resistance in the past. So as long as we can get that kind of area to kind of slow down, I'll put up $6-7 in risk if I need to. But I mean, like at this point, do I want to put up 10? Probably not. So I'm going to wait to see if we can't go another $4 or $5. Let it get overextended into resistance, previous resistance or previous support. We know that's there. As I say that, Netflix just cracked 610. Is that what? To the downside. Oh, okay. Because I want to, okay, there we go. Pick up a long on a dip. So Netflix is a nice little move. It is heading to the downside, not going with the rest of the names. So relative weakness in Netflix, but still looks pretty good on the daily. So I would like to kind of pick up some longs on Netflix. But again, when you're going on, when you're trying to trade a name that's actually going down with the rest of the market going up, that means there's weakness there, right? You do have to be smarter about how you price these entries. But I am looking for potential longs on Netflix. Probably a stop on this. I've got to figure out what the stop is. It might be 605, might be 604. I'll price it right. I'll try to figure out exactly where I want to go with Netflix, but that is one name I'm looking at for potential longs. I am still looking for other names that I can potentially short as well. I'm going through the chat. I'm looking at those names. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're trying to make a decent amount of money here as AMC for some reason just ripped, and we got out 66s there. Here it goes, 67, 68, 69. AMC, so finally, man, finally, we wait, we're patient, and there it comes in. Now it's flowing here. So what was an absolute, I don't want to say abject disaster, to quote something from my good friend, Mr. Roberts, who, by the way, traveled well. So update on that one. He is in Nova Scotia and doing quite well. And so that's good for him and for us as well. Great to hear. But, okay, here we go. A nice little move to the upside. We got to take some more out, man. I didn't expect this move right there. We just got some out sitting there at 28. Let's put another offer out there right now. Whoa, there it goes. Flying out of the way goes AMC. Nice little move to the upside, man. We're rocking and rolling. We're cooking with gas right now on that AMC trade. Wow, 80, 40, 50 cents in the money now, 80 cents off the bottom, which is nice. Nikola as well. Yeah, let's go, man. Hit the home runs on Nikola today on that reload. Again, I don't know if that happened. I don't know if that is the low of the day, but we were waiting here to get more. So I'm going to say no on that one as Nikola back up to the upside here and starting to rip and roll. Just a quick update. MBOT, we're out of that. I see some people talking. I just got to make sure I don't have any. No, I don't. No orders out on MBOT. You know, we got that out at this high. We talked about that over and over again, but MBOT got out. We were only one in, one out, a light trade because we did take this at 8.15, and then we got out at 9.35 right off the open as that faded in, right? And just as an example, some stocks get crushed sometimes. And look at this one, BBIO, another name. Good thing, like I'm still net positive on this. Good thing we got out. That was unbelievable there at open. I was like so lucky to get that 13 print. And then we were buying some, I mean, these are both crazy wicks. We were buying some and getting some out. And then this buy at 12.20 was out at 12 break. So there's a 20-cent hit there. So as you can see, out, and then out our last piece as we watch BBIO. No bottom picks here for me on this one, man. You could see the offer. Still stacked. Oh, you know what? I do want to go back over to Miss V because while you were gone, Brendan, Miss V was trading a few different names. I know she was looking at some SOPA and some crazy runners. So let's find out if she's any of that. We'll go back to her in a couple minutes. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I was just going to say, look at the offers stacked up there. And we just took out a 30. Maybe this is the run now on BBIO back up to the upside. So I wonder if that, whoa. I was wondering if that little stop there at a 111.40 or so, there was some size there at 36. They ate it up, and now BBIO, just checking in for you guys, back up to the upside. That one is a big runner there. Yeah, I know that AMC is the biggest weight in the IWM. Is it the biggest weight though? AMC, I'm not 100% sure if that's true, if you're talking about by market cap or just by individual weighting in that, like it's 10% of IWM or whatever it is. Maybe we can get a double check on that one, but we do talk about watching IWM. I think AMC though, like I've never watched it. I've heard Trader Pratt talk about it, and the reason why I've never looked into it is regardless of what IWM is doing, AMC like has its own moves. So I don't really want to sit here and trade this against an index. I don't think, it's different than when you're trading your NASDAQ, your Apples, your Microsofts into the NASDAQ contract, right? We've talked about that. There's 7 names that hold 53% of the NASDAQ. You guys all know what those 7 are, so don't overthink it. But those are big names for sure. And there goes Tesla. Okay, good. So Tesla there does break that 1,000. And like we said, if the market goes down, I liked Tesla for a short. But that if is ifs and buts and candies and nuts. Because right now, man, this is ripping to the upside through 11. We've just touched out again. I wish I had an 11 break. I didn't. That 11 break takes you to 11.03 only. So there goes Tesla all the way to the upside. Good one here. Yeah, some people are asking, do we like the short here? I know we have a few other positions. Like I'm already long AMC, CEI, and Nikola, but CEI is kind of a sleepy trade. Let's take a look at this one going through 1100 now on Tesla.
I mean, I was talking about Netflix. I'm like, and it was sitting at 610. And I'm like, oh, yeah, Netflix, I want to price this right, whatever. And then I go to put the order in, and it just takes off. And here we are trading at 613. And I'm trying to price it around 610 and change. And I'm like, oh, am I going to get this fill? I like the order. I like the price. Now I like the price, but the trade is just absolutely taking off. Netflix, here it goes, moves and bounces right off that 610. Nice little support bounce, and now back into the 614. So I don't know, that trade may have missed that trade by waiting for that. But here we are. We'll leave the order in. As long as it doesn't take out 615, I think if it takes out 615, I've got to cancel the order at that point. The trade's probably gone. But I can still have a chance, an outside chance of potentially still getting that fill. So we'll leave the order in. MasterCard finally starting to move here. That's $1 in the money. Here we go. Nice little long around 358. Starting to move at 359. But again, MasterCard is MasterCard. Look at the spread on MasterCard. So actually it's closed up a little bit. Okay, so about 20-cent spread now. It was roughly about 50 cents or so when I first got into the trade. But here we are finally starting to move on MasterCard. And Qualcomm was just north of 185, but coming back in just a tiny bit there. So we are waiting for Qualcomm to expand as well. Maybe if we get above 185 one more time, we can get some decent strength to actually take off to the upside. But we are waiting on Qualcomm and MasterCard to get going. Well, MasterCard is starting to move around. Qualcomm, let's get going here. And BABA is coming back around after, I think everyone saw this story here. Hey, up $1.50. Oh no, we're down 60 cents. Hey, we're flat.
Oh no.
So here we are waiting for BABA to kind of figure out itself. I'm still trying to get some trades on CRM and Netflix. They've done what they needed to do at the price points that I'm looking for. So now we just need to get the fills to participate in that move to the upside as we go to Brendan.
Brendan.
A couple other little ones, guys, to mention. This one looks like it had a bit of a move last week as well. Health, HLTH on the NASDAQ, which is Q Health, software name in the health industry, just making a high there at 1550 on a big move so far today. And then I'll flip over and show you this one, a few people talking about as well. RELI up 20%, just coming back into 5. Big mover last week as well for Reliance.
Did you say Roblox?
Someone said Roblox.
Oh, Reliance, right? Rely. Yeah, we had that stock. Is that RELI? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we were talking about that last week. Remember, we were calling it Rely, Reli. I was calling it Rely. You were calling it Reli. Remember?
It was Reliance.
I know, and then that's why we weren't sure what it was. Was it Rely or Reli? So either way, that is the symbol there. Okay, so we've just been dumping out of some of our Nikola here. It's topped out at 1140. We will look at Reli in a couple seconds here. I just want to go over a few other trades. AMC as well. I mean, wow, what a good trade AMC was. And we'll go to the moon with that one as... just be patient, man. It's on our sticky note. We talked about this defense, and then we also pulled it down, and we noticed the same dip happen to us on Thursday. So we are getting a hell of a lot better at trying to be more specific and waiting around for better trades. And that has led me to my highest spot we've been at all day today. Super happy with trading here so far. Wow. And you know what? I didn't get more into NVIDIA well, I did actually. My last buy of NVIDIA was 289. Was actually, I wasn't hoping for more dips on NVIDIA, but wow, what a name, man. This name just continues to work. I'm loving the metaverse. I'm loving everything. I think Justin Bieber, shout out to Miss V there. I think he did a metaverse concert. So you might want to look that up there, Miss V. I think you were invited. That's the point of the metaverse. Everybody is invited, but we can go on a date and we will all buy the coffee and we can be able to watch out for Mr. Bieber there in his metaverse. I did see, though, Miss V, him and Haley. Is it Haley Bieber? Is that her name? Yeah. Bieber. They were posting some pictures and everything. So I think that he's probably going to be a kept man now for a while, Mr. Justin Bieber. Those Tim Biebs, let me know if anybody in the chat have you had a Tim Bieb yet? I haven't. Neither have I. So what those are is, have you had one, Randy? No, I thought they're so popular here and everyone I'm asking hasn't had them. But Tim Hortons always sold out every time we go through there. I try to stay away from those beautiful sweets, but I try to get them for my kids. Tim Biebs, let me know if you guys have had those and what you think about them. I think it's just extra loaded up Timbits there. My son wants to try the waffle birthday cake. So that should be fun. Let's go. Let's keep on going on that one and see what happens. Twitter, Tesla breaking back down now, trying to retest 1100 now on the downside. So Tesla, whoever said, guys, Tesla short up there seems to be right because it's bouncing off that 1105. Someone who I know hasn't had a Tim Bieb. What up, Brendo?
I actually heard a review, though, Sean, saying that they are, in fact, much sweeter and much more cake-like, if you will, than normal Timbits. So anyways, Vuzi, V-U-Z-I, just popping up here, 5%, big move on volume. Here's why. New agreement to deliver augmented reality with 5G and mobile edge computers. So Vuzix, if you remember, this is a big mover going back a couple months ago, guys.
Yeah, Beebs are just regular Timbits. You said they're more cake-like, Brendo? Yeah, yes. I'm all about that. I like the cake ones, so maybe I will. And we all love cake, so we'll take that for what that's worth. And I'm not trying to suck up to Ms. V. All I said to her was, "Hey, where's my coffee?" That's all that was said, because it is a tradition on here. But we do thank Ms. V for running around for us and doing that. It was actually a tradition started by Joanna, so shout out to Joanna as well. Kept bringing us coffee, and then Ms. V took that role over. So thank you for that one. And it's a way to get her back on the screen, and I think that we'll do that as much as we possibly can. And I did want to check in. Maybe we can do that very, very soon, as we do have a guest of the day coming, I believe, at 10:45, if that's still on. Oh. Canceled. Okay, so perfect. So that will give us a chance here. We'll see how she's been trading. If she's been trading, Ms. V, have you been trading this morning? Yes or no? Just thumbs up, that's all.
Yes.
Yes, okay, so we will talk to her about that. And I just said she's over there on the big desk, so I know that's affecting a little bit of her setup there. She can't have the normal setup with Trader Prad, who is in the building as well. Okay, so a quick update here. Tesla was a great short down through that. I'm a little disappointed today with PayPal, the NASDAQ being up as much as it is. I've been talking about buying this. My last buy was at, I think, 204, 205 for PayPal. We didn't buy any of those bottoms. I can't just, I mean, I could deploy more capital, but I just didn't want to buy all the way down. Some of the positions we had obviously were in trouble. Now not so much anymore, but PayPal continues to be in a trouble spot. I don't know. Maybe there was a story or something about PayPal today, but I'm really disappointed at the action here, being down on such a beat-down name here. I don't like that one, but maybe Morgan's up. We didn't buy more Morgan. We didn't buy any Morgan's now. What do I mean more? I want to get into some more financials here, waiting for a dip down, but if I do get one, it will be Morgan Stanley. It'll be the first name that we look at on any dip buys. And wow, our baby, though, as we say, shout out to Trader Prad. I should give him this hat, as he's a brand new Palantir investor. Although I did wear this one day. I wore it to the zoo and then brought it back, and people said he lost it in the zoo, but I didn't. So there it is right there. Palantir, that's Morgan Stanley. Let's have a quick look at Palantir. What a dip down this was early. It's just been nothing but love on the upside here for PLTR today, up that 1.33%. So a nice mover here, Palantir, guys.
Yeah, a lot of big movers here. As the futures trying to take out that 47.50, we're sitting right on it. We're gonna take a look at some point just north of 47.50 as the big tech names, the big index names are going, specifically Facebook, day highs and breaking a wide range. So I am trying to participate in that long on Facebook. I got an order out there trying to get a fill closer to 345. So I'm trying to participate in that long. It is starting to move, so let's get some trades there. We're still waiting for BABA to figure itself out around 320. Qualcomm starting to stall out around that 185. I may have to move down, kind of trail this a little bit here. I just want to make sure that I'm not moving up way too quickly, because I do want to give it a chance. We have space. I actually don't want to move it up. Okay, we're going to leave it alone and give it a chance to actually kind of take out this 185 and get going. I think if it gets going, we can actually get a chance at 188 or whatnot. So I am going to give it that chance. Now, what did I just get filled? There we go. Facebook. Man, I'm sitting so heavy on the long side. This is not a good thing. Okay, Qualcomm long, 46. We're up 46 cents. Netflix up 53, but and Netflix has got a crazy spread. MasterCard up $1.33. MasterCard has a spread. Facebook, relatively flat. We just got in. The only one that's not in the money is BABA. The only issue that I have with this is that I'm so heavy on the long, and futures just putting in new highs. It's got to take a break at some point. If this market's taking off, or these stocks are going because the futures are taking off to the upside, at some point when the futures start taking a break, these are going to have to come off fairly quickly. So I'm going to keep a very, very close eye on the names that are slowing down the fastest. Specifically, I'm starting to notice Qualcomm is going to be an issue just because of the way it's trading. I'm going to give it a chance, but I really do need the Qualcomm to start picking up. Everything else is fine. Baba's going to do what Baba's going to do. But everything else seems fine. I just really worry about Qualcomm and the fact that it has no juice left north of 185. If we can actually maybe get that trade going on Qualcomm, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable north of 85. Just to leave it alone, let it do its thing, right? I've got a couple other alerts. I've got from the chat. I picked up some of these names. Sava specifically on the chat as well. Sava just took out 46. Well, it didn't just take it out, but it did take it out earlier. And now sitting at 46.50. Strong move. It was sitting just below 45, and here it is now at 46.50. Nice little pop to the upside. It's starting to stall out a little bit. It's got some space, But my issue is, do I want to add to my stable of longs that I've got here with another long on a name that's somewhat thinner? So that's my only hesitation. I think I'm reaching my capacity in terms of how many positions I want to keep in one direction. They're doing just fine. The ones that I've got are doing just fine except for one. So I do want to kind of maybe claw back a little bit just because I want to control what I'm doing. Someone earlier said that about Tesla. It's like I was talking about how I didn't really want to trade Tesla at that price, and they're like, well, you have the capacity, you have the capital, the bankroll to trade it. It's not about the bankroll. It's about being smart about what decisions you're making. And for me, anything over $1,000 is a hard thing to read about volatility, about levels. And I pride myself on volume and reading the tape and stuff like that. I cannot get a good handle on certain names, especially above $1,000, because it's all over the place, especially with the volatility and the spreads, right? So I kind of take a step back when it comes to those prices. But here we are, futures taking off to the upside. So I'm noticing up here on my board here, now Netflix is starting to go up $1.50 and MasterCard is starting to creep up as well. Qualcomm maybe heading back towards 185. Facebook up 15, and then BABA just absolutely doing nothing. No help on BABA. So BABA, we may be running out of steam. And BABA is actually not the best of charts anyways on the daily that I want to work with. So if we start to run out of more juice, I might just take the hit if I can get maybe a 20, 30 cent hit. We're at about 38 cents right now. But if we stall out one more time north of 120, we're just going to walk away from BABA. In the meantime, we're going to go to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, busy morning in small cap world. Lots of opportunities to have a look at. Anyways, this one, however, has been a little frustrating. Not really doing a heck of a lot of anything. We kind of chopped around at the open, came down to the pre-market low there and held at 340. And it's now back inside the range. I had to stop up there for half of my position. So we'll see what happens. I said, if you remember pre-market, 390 and then 4. So if we get back up to 4 and start holding below that, I'll put that back on again. So ICCM, a bit frustrating. So has this one been. It did fail at 9 initially. Gave you an opportunity to get a little trade off there for 50 cents or so. But again, back inside that range from the pre-market for MBOT, starting to look pretty strong. Once again, SOPA, decent move to the downside after that big move higher on Thursday. So 14 failed. You could have taken that 15 test. 14 failed there. It came up, tested 14. All kinds of sellers showed up, pushed it back underneath, gave you a nice flush. All the way down to 12 now for that one, guys. Back over to you.
All right, I'm just trying to get out of this. Looking for AMC. Oh, so just looking through the Twitter here, and yeah, my wife putting in the work right now, already thinking about how to top Christmas this year. We have a nice little setup outside. I'm down with this, but $150 seems a lot there. What's up to Green Bay Packerland as we are going to hopefully be the #1 seed in the NFC. We will take that bye week. That is for damn sure. And enjoy that time off. And then a shout out to you here, Childry Colbert, like Colbert from Stephen Colbert. There we go. You got the Captain Morgan. That's the exact bottle that we had. And it's nice to see you got some original eggnog there. Very, very tasty. Throw some cinnamon. I prefer nutmeg on it as well. And then here we go. Shout out to you, Charles. Salute to you as well, as there it is, me spilling coffee everywhere. So thank you for that one as well. So that's good to go. And a little bit more love there from Daniel Shea coming on the show at 250. Dallas is coming. Look, okay, so this is the thing. I hate Dallas, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm out now of my playoff pool because of last week when Dallas and Dak did absolutely nothing. I have Dak and Amari, so Dak Prescott. If Neil was here, we'd go back and forth. But I know you're not a fantasy football guy, Arun. But anyways, so I couldn't even watch that yesterday because you know what? This week, now that I'm eliminated, it looks like I'll be in 4th place as the 1st and 2nd place teams facing each other for the finals next week. I put up the most points out of the whole league this week, but I'm already out of sort of that winner's bracket. Winner, I am not. I hope Neil can advance it there as he had a good game from Josh Allen, obviously. And yeah, it's scheduling a lot with fantasy football, but whatever. We'll go on that one. Dallas to win it all. Oh, so what I was saying there about Dallas was, you understand they only played a good game because they had nothing to win or to lose. They had already wrapped up the NFC, but I don't mind if Dallas makes it. That should be an exciting Super Bowl, but that means they'd have to go through Lambeau, and trust me, you actually think Dak is going to go into Lambeau and win that game? We'll wait to see what the spread is there. I hope Brady and Bucks will repeat. That's that's possible for sure on that one, as my brother's favorite team is Tampa Bay. And his favorite team, here's a story for anybody. Thank you so much for William Craig. Can you look at AAL? Let's do that right after this story. My favorite story about my brother is we were in, well, I have many stories. I don't know if it's my favorite or not, but we were doing a fantasy draft about 20 years ago, and he hadn't had a favorite team. And then all of a sudden, at the draft, he had like the first overall pick. Boom, he took off his shirt. He unveiled a Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey. It was that creamsicle jersey, and it was because Cadillac Williams was going to be his first overall pick, a running back there, and that didn't turn out too well. Although he had a few good years. Cedric Benson also drafted that year as well. But that's the story about why Tampa Bay is his favorite team. I was actually just going to look at CCL. What a good call that was. Shout out to Daryl. We were short early and out, and we got out at 2008 or whatever it was down there. 2010, I guess, is the bottom before it ripped back up. So I think CCL double topping now is a good short there. But that's that. And let's quickly, I know you feel like you're on Coke listening to me. Sometimes I feel like I'm on Coke talking, but obviously I would never know what that feels like. AAL here, back NQ here. Let's see what's happening on AAL. Okay, thank you for the super chat as well on this one. Let me let this load up. I'll throw over to Arun because I've been talking for too long. As there goes AMC, I'll let these charts load up and then we'll do some more work on AAL.
Yeah, I was just looking at Facebook as you were talking. I was like, damn, Facebook was out of the money like 70 cents at one point because it had dipped hard. And then if I look back over, I'm like, wait, well, it was back in the money, like 15 cents. There was a flashback up just north of 345, and now it's back being down 50 cents or so. Facebook, like at the price point that it's at, I'm perfectly fine. I would expect, if anything, some sort of activity like this. So we're okay with Facebook and what it's doing, but this trade is set up well. Qualcomm started to go. I got to actually get out of here. Facebook, Qualcomm started to go towards 185. This is the one that was concerning me the most because of the fact that it was stalling out here. So Qualcomm, okay, we can keep going, and then we can get a move here. I mean, BABA, again, I'm keeping an eye on that 120. MasterCard stalling out south of 360, but it's set up at the right spot, so I'm perfectly okay waiting on this one. I think right now with Facebook and BABA, Facebook, again, at the price that I want it, fine, we'll leave it alone. And BABA being out, I got to keep an eye on that 120. As the future is now putting in new highs, well, we're going to keep putting in new highs.
How do you want to look at
all-time
Tesla
highs,
like
right?
that?
Given the price point we're at. I mean, if we ever have a sell point at that point, that'll be the new all-time high. But for now, I'm going to stop saying all-time highs. But here we are, 57.25, 57.5, still running strong. We cleared that 47.50 area. Here we go, straight up to the upside. Now that we've cleared this zone, this 47.50, all that needs to happen is a sell move into the 47.50 area that gets bought. I think that is absolutely critical for this rally to extend and be healthy. Because a move like this for 4 days straight up, at some point there's going to be some selling. If you can absorb the selling and keep the strength and keep it going, to keep it going, you need that absorption of any sell side activity. And I think now that we've cleared that 50, pretty much for the next 50 points down, from 47.50 all the way to 4,700, you need to sustain the buy side activity. You need to sustain the buy side strength. And we kind of need that selling to come in to make sure that this rally is healthy. That's a good thing because this will help the long-term situation because it clears the zone, absorbs any selling, allows you to continue the move to the upside. You need that sell side activity to come in that gets bought. Brendan?
PYR, Pyrogenesis, another little one, just actually looks similar to that chart Arun was just showing. 73.5%, 440 though, a huge level if you come over here. Pyrogenesis, guys, huge volume coming in at 440, in fact.
Pyrogenesis. Okay, so AAL, quickly, thank you so much again. We'll put you up on here one more time. Thank you so much, William Craig, for the super chat for AAL, and thank you for making me a little bit of money right now already. We're short, we're in the money, 3 pennies there. So as it continues to the downside, I love that play. I think that's a great call there. 18.10 as a top, and then this giving yourself up to 18.20 there, right there, as a possible out. So I think this is well worth it. Go short here at 18 and then ride this all the way back down down. I think the NASDAQ has led this way, as has the ES. The NASDAQ up 1.2 today. The ES up 0.83. And maybe AAL sort of dying down there. We got a nice little bump back up. I could see some money coming out of these names because it's not down as much as maybe we thought it would be. AAL right now, and now again, I don't know if we go all the way back to 1750. This might just be a quick scalp, including this bottom right here, 1765. So watch out for that level. So remember 1765? Look where we sort of danced around here today, 1765. So that level goes all the way back to December 9th or 10th there. So we'll watch out for that level on the downside. But yeah, an out could be up here into this area. And you know what, if it goes back here, I mean, does AAL deserve to be green today off some of those reports? I'm going to say no, so hopefully we can defend that area. And by the way, AMC right now, let's go. AMC will do a little bit of drop down here. Oops, that's not the AMC chart. Yeah, we're just taking out profits, man, on this one all the way to the upside. My number one stock today is actually going to be AMC, but Nicola's been a good one as well. What's up, Brendo?
All right, we are super excited, as Sean mentioned. Miss Danielle Shea going to join us, VP of Options Trading over at Simpler Trading. We're going to talk all about the year that was with her. We'll get her take on her best trades of the year, maybe a little bit on what to look for going into the new year as well. Trying to expand our horizons a little, bringing you some options content as well coming up this afternoon, guys. Join us at 2:50 for Danielle Shea. We'll talk some options ideas with her. Everyone's favorite Day Trade the World marketing guys coming up here in a few minutes as well. We're going to get Justin Kozach back in the building, 10:45, 10:50. We'll talk about some headlines. Before we do that, let's get a check on what is happening over in Europe. Miss V, tell them.
Hey, Brandon, European markets are positive today. Britain is closed for the holiday today and tomorrow. Storsko again trading in Sweden is up more than 4% on the news that it had acquired automation company LNS. Back to you.
Yeah, a bit of a choppy start, I guess you could call it, to the week as well in North America. It's a holiday week. Let's face it, guys. It's going to be a little bit quiet.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit light, but we are definitely not light right now. We'll go boom, boom for Trader TV Justin, because that's good. And we'll go,
oh my God,
for AMC. Oh my God, what is happening right there?
Go ahead.
Bang! Right there as it comes back on there for AMC with a
I was
nice.
waiting for that.
I know you're waiting. I was looking right at it. I was like, and then boom. I don't have the bang thing on here. If you guys have it, you can put it on. But AMC with a nice move to the upside there. 28.32. We're almost out of this name. $1.25 in the money, man. What's up to Niagara, Charlie? What's up to everyone else? Manulife in the personal account. No, it is not. But I do have Bank of Nova Scotia, BNS in there as well. I have JP Morgan. I don't have any insurance companies whatsoever, but I think Manulife would be a fantastic call. Those of you that are looking to maybe add to your investment portfolio. I do like MFC for those of you guys looking at that name. It's dual listed, so you can grab that in both accounts, whether or not you have a, whatever, TFSA or an RSP or 401k or whatever. I do like Manulife, again, a big insurer here in Canada. Also have some U.S. business, but it's just not like this, not when you could see this bank. This is the Bank of Nova Scotia that I'm talking about here, right up to the upside. I know Neil prefers TD. I mean, I like TD as well, but there goes Bank of Nova Scotia. This is what I'm talking about. Canadian banks right now are on one, and this is what I wanted to talk about as well tomorrow with Kevin O'Leary coming through. Like, what are these Canadian banks on right now? All the way up to 70, 50, definitely working. Another one, Royal Bank, working as well here in Canada as these names just continue to go. But I mean, why be in any of these when you could be in a Tesla, for example, that continues just to, there's Royal Bank. What a great stock that is. You could see not like Bank of Nova Scotia. So I don't know. I guess I must have picked a winner in that one. TSLA right now. Wow. You want to talk about being on one right now. Tesla like up 4 and a bit right now, continuing to move up when Lucid's down 1.7%. You know a name that we haven't looked at here today, Arun, besides a lot of names, because what, there's over 30,000 names we could possibly look at with all the markets, if not more than that. But what about Rivian today? Up that 6% here. The chart on the daily, we don't need to look at that, but there's a nice move upside for Rivian. And this one I slept on. And, you know, we were waiting for it. I can show you. We have sticky notes from last week. We were waiting for that 100 break. It happened, and we don't have it. So that kind of sucks right there. But a nice move upside here on Rivian as that continues to work, guys. And that leads me over to, I mean, that might be a good top as well. 104 and change there on Rivian coming into these areas. So yeah, good little drop spot right there. Maybe fills the gap. It did that. It filled this gap back up to this area. So if you can't get above 107, look for a retrace back to 96, 97 here on Rivian. PYR, we'll look at all that. And then we also will look, what's up, trader formerly known as Frodo Baggins. We're actually got my 9-year-old starting to watch Lord of the Rings. We screwed that up. He got on a Terry Potter. Hey, what's up, Terry Potter? He got on a Canadian legend, by the way, Terry Fox. If you don't know enough about that guy, look him up. Respect to anybody in that game. But Harry Potter. Yep. Are you a Harry Potter or a Lord of the Rings fan?
You know what's crazy?
Or both?
No, I'm actually, I haven't watched Harry Potter. For any Harry Potter fans out there that are going to absolutely destroy me right now, I'm sorry. But I haven't watched Harry Potter, any of the movies. I don't actually even know the story outlines for any of them. Lord of the Rings. Interestingly enough, I had not seen Lord of the Rings until the year, it was like about 4 or 5 years ago when I was doing this big trip. And New Zealand was on the list of countries that I was going. I was doing New Zealand, Australia, and Hawaii. That was the trip that I was doing. And I actually watched the trilogy on my way. Essentially, I finished that movie by getting there and kind of fly. By the time I flew out, I kind of finished the last of the third movies. So yeah, it was pretty much, I waited so long. I was like, I can't, they're long, and it's just this whole thing. I'm like, I never got around to it, but finally, you know, I had nothing else to do. I was sitting on this plane for a while. The flights are long. So here we are catching up on some movies that I know are filmed there. So I'm like, okay, let's just watch this. It was a great movie. I want to say I should have watched that a while ago, well before its time, but well before I actually watched it. But I actually did finally watch Lord of the Rings. But Harry Potter, have not gotten into it, have not looked at it. I'm sure people are out there. They're saying read the book, the movie. It's better than the movies. Fair enough. Back to stocks, though. I want to address one question, I think, from Bradley Taylor was asking me, do I filter my time of sales? Because I was talking about reading the time of sales. I do, but it's not the kind of filter that you would expect. Like, I'm not filtering for above certain sizes that are massive. I just don't want to get crowded with like the single shares, the 1, 2, 10 share lots. So here I am filtering it for pretty much everything north of 100 is what I care for, right? So everything north of 100, I'll filter in just so I can actually see how it plays out. But everything below 100, I just like below 100, don't really care for it. So here we are, just paying attention to anything that's triple digits or more. Going back to our position updates, Qualcomm up $1.55. Qualcomm has finally cleared that 185, so I can leave it alone, not worry too much about Qualcomm. So that is starting to run. Netflix, $1.81, I guess. Where is Netflix here? Let's pull up Netflix. Yeah, I mean, the spread is there. I'm trying to get some out in front of that 614, see if I can't get it. But here we are waiting on Netflix. The spread is like 50 cents. I'll leave the order be. MasterCard is relatively flat after being up nice. It was up like a good $1.50 or so. Has come back now slightly. It's like 3 cents out, 9 cents out now. And then Facebook is coming back in. So that's only a couple cents after being down like 60 cents. And now Baba is getting it is just leaking to the downside. I just got to give up on Baba. I think when they failed 120 the second time, it was sitting at 119. I was like, oh, if it gets back above 120, I'll dump it. Like if they get back above and lose it, I'll dump it. I don't even think they're going to get to it. So I might just dump it soon, take the dollar hit and walk away as we go to Brendan on the big screen.
Quick look, guys, at how the overall market is doing so far. We are positive nicely, in fact, 0.85 for the S&P. You can see widespread buying, in fact, right across the board. Few things of note to the downside. All pretty much of the travel names that we were talking about in the pre-market, cruise lines, hotels, casinos, even the airlines, all in the red. So this consumer discretionary group over here offsetting slightly to the downside. I say slightly because retailers are very strong. You can see this is the retail group nicely in positive territory. about 0.8 all the way through to 2.5% there. Consumer durables and some of the apparel makers also putting in gains, so offsetting some of the weakness coming from the travel names. Here are all of the airlines, as we said, to the downside once again, 1.2 through 1.5 there for AAL in negative territory. There's Arun's Boeing down 1.3% as well, following suit. I just wanted to point out Facebook there, because Facebook having quite the day, 2.8%. You can see it's very rare that it actually pops up on this board. 2% for Costco as well. Nice day for Tesla here, 3.9%. Ford and GM below it, following along as they normally do. Industrials we talked about. Technology stocks are the main story of the day. Hardware equipment makers, semiconductors, that's really all you need to know. Leading the entire market higher right here. The hardware group and the semiconductors, software names, FTNT leading the way as well. ACN, INTU, and SNPS. So overall, nice way to start the week, guys. 0.86 right now. Back over to you.
I'm messaging. What's up? If my wife's watching, I love you, obviously. She's already saying that there's a huge weather statement right now.
Oh.
Apparently, it's snowing like mad right now, and it's turning into freezing rain.
Oh, that's going to be a fun drive.
So she's like, what do you want to do for dinner? I'm like, I'm on the show. But there you go. Yeah, what's up, Gregory? I don't know. Hope you didn't ride your... I don't know. How did you get here today, Greg? DTC, okay, good. As if he rode his bike there, he'd be coming home with me maybe today. Okay, so that's a good one here. Yeah, weather statement. So watch out for that one. And thank you to my lovely wife, who also is hopefully going to be getting me that Green Bay Packers inflatable that I just did tweet out as well from her. So, I mean, she's looking that up. I like that. That's a win for me all day, every day. We will get ready to throw to Miss V in a couple seconds. Maybe if we could, I don't know if her screen can even go on the camera on the show or not, but maybe we could talk about a couple of her trades because I know there's a lot of you guys interested in that one as well. Let's look at Ford. Ford's been a big name for us for a while now. Yes, sir. Wow. Up to $20.75. What a great move for Ford today. How did I miss this one? Thank you for someone yelling Ford, Ford, Ford in the chat. That's for sure. A nice move back up to the upside here. 2080, taking that level out here. Wow. Yeah, that's that level right there. 2070, I guess. Not 2080, but we're up to 2080 right now. 21-year high, I believe, right here on Ford. Now happy. It's a 1-minute chart. Let's just take a look at this one. Yeah, so what is that high? Let me move this over. That's 2185, I thought it was, or so. Yes, it was right there. So 2180 coming through. That's, you know, $1 away from a monster level here on Ford. So that's awesome. I don't even know what the who's had the most rain there in 40 years. You know what? Our winter's been great.
So far.
Like the kids were kind of a little bit upset there that we didn't have a white Christmas. It was about 8 degrees Celsius, which I think is like high 40s maybe? I don't know. I can't. I'll have to look that up. But 8 degrees Celsius here on Christmas Day, and only snowing now, really. We did have, some, Justin's in the building. That's where it is. Miss V's gone now over there, so maybe we won't be able to see her screen after all. Anyways, I hope you guys are safe wherever you guys are. Stay inside and stay warm with your loved ones, that's for sure. Okay, just quickly here on AMC. So AMC does break down through 28. We're gone. We're out of AMC. Wow, that was a good trade for us today. Like, we loaded it up down there. Like, I don't know. We defended 28. We talked about that. And then you guys remember a little rant that I went on? Was like, I'm going to be as patient as I possibly can be here today with AMC so that we don't get these dip dives down and get suffered, because normally like we're buy. And then when it comes all the way back up, we're just getting out for average prices. But today we get out for a big win. My number one stock today is AMC. We've been sitting in this all day, CEI. I apologize. Like, I really wish it was going to move a little bit more, but we took some out in the excitement in the pre-market, and since then it's been nothing but a snooze fest here for CEI today. I don't know what the story is with Lucid. We do have, of course, Justin coming from Day Trade the World. He's going to talk a little bit about whatever is on his mind. We'll see what he got for Christmas there. But Lucid today down 1.5%. Not sure if there was a story or anything on Lucid, but you could see this dip buy for $36.50. This is what I missed this morning. So Lucid's come back into this level a couple times, $36, and we should have been buying here. So Lucid down here near 36. I think this is just as good as the level, honestly, like that Nikola 9. Now, I know Nikola 9 is all-time lows, but Lucid, could break lower. We don't know where these stocks are going to go, but if you're going to defend a level, why not take this 37 right there on Nikola, or not 37, sorry, 36, and average into it as we get closer down. That bottom's 35.50, but hey, that's a good little level right there for Nikola or for Lucid. So let's try to defend 36 if we get going a little bit more. That would be fantastic. Oh, do you mind if I show this, Randy, if you want to? Okay, so we'll just open this up on a new tab here so I can get it. It's a picture of Randy's place. And yeah, I guess it's not Stouffville, but Uxbridge right there. So here's a picture from Randy's house right now. So Randy, I have a feeling this is going to get a hell of a lot worse. It just doesn't look like anything there. So the snow is starting to come down here. This is Randy's home/driveway. So we won't give away any more details in case people break that down and find out where Randy lives. But thank you for sharing that as it's starting to get worse here right now for us. So Arun, that record drive that you and I had in today may not happen on the way home, my friend.
Let's hope that it doesn't get any worse than that. But it was a nice drive while it lasted. I mean, I could tell as I got closer to the city. Now, I'm coming from slightly, not up north, but not as far north as Randy is. But I am still taking some highways coming from the north side. And as I got closer and closer to the city, I'm not too far away, but at the same time, as I got closer to the city, you could start to see snow drifting on the actual highways and whatnot. So it was starting to get bad. I'm glad I got here before the snow picked up. And here we are kind of just waiting for the snow to pass. I mean, it's been a while since we had some snow anyway, so it's not that, it's a good thing, I guess, that we've been having decent weather. But for now, it is December in Toronto, Canada. It's not as bad as, say, somebody in the chat was saying Alberta is minus 30.
Forget about Alberta and Winnipeg and all that.
I mean, there's a difference. When people think Canada,
they don't understand.
There's a big difference between weather in parts of where we are, around the city and the lakes, versus the prairies where Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, those provinces, man, if you live out there and that's what you think of when you think Canada and you remember snow and igloos and stuff. And because that's what people say, right? That's what people say when they think Canada. But their weather out there is really bad, especially this time of year. It gets really bad at times. It's not igloos, but it's really cold. It's minus 30, he says. I'm sure the weather is going to pick up at some point. And they get snow earlier,
minus 11 in Vancouver right now?
Well, that's on the coast, though, right?
No, but still, it's minus 1 in Toronto right now. Minus 1. I would say our weather's more... I don't even want to say it's like Philly or anything because they're right there as well on the East Coast. We're kind of protected here in Toronto.
It's better than New York. It's at times. New York gets worse snow than it's better than New York, and I think Chicago gets a much worse.
Ooh, yes. I don't want to compare it to anything like that. But anyways, let's go out. Everyone in Canada knows exactly what we're talking about. I've never been in an igloo, but hopefully one day I will get that chance. Over to a man who looks like he makes igloos for fun, over with Brendan and Justin.
Okay, sure. Quite an intro, thank you. Justin is here, guys. As promised, Justin Kozach back in the building to discuss some popular headlines, we'll call it, to kick off the new trading week. As we said, kind of a quiet start as expected going into the end of the year. That being said, there are still a few things making headlines. We learned about this Elon's almost done selling rally in Tesla shares last week, but now they're not going to let us play games while we're driving, Justin?
Yeah, so take advantage while you can. Tesla's going to be disabling all their on-the-move passenger play, so no more being entertained while you're being driven down the road. So interesting story there. Tesla has promised to change after speaking to an NHTSA spokesperson. This has been kind of an ongoing thing. There's actually an investigation going on right now. Covers actually more than 500,000 vehicles sold between 2017 and 2022. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Mercedes-Benz also had the same issue with their EQS EVs and some of their S model classes vehicles. So a little bit of a precedent there. It will be interesting to see what happens next.
I say that, tongue-in-cheek, obviously. I mean, this is obviously needed and much warranted for safety reasons. They always marketed this screen as the passenger infotainment center. So I mean, aiming it at the passenger, it was their plan all along. But I mean, obviously, this is a no-brainer and should have probably happened a long time ago.
Right. I mean, a lot of these companies are starting to reckon with distracted driving. So certainly, this is a way for them to kind of put a halt to that kind of behavior. So we'll see what happens now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the stock is going crazy. The past few days have been pretty impressive off that Elon headline. Anyways, let's move on. TikTok making headlines, and ByteDance more specifically, if you're looking for the ownership side of TikTok.
Right, so a TikTok moderator is suing the company for the trauma caused by graphic video. So this particular person is a content moderator, and TikTok allegedly requires their moderators to work 12-hour shifts with only a 1-hour lunch and 2 15-minute breaks, which seems a little excessive. But I think where the issue kind of lies for this particular person, and content moderation as an industry as a whole, and I've talked about this before, is that because of the amount of content that exists or that's posted on TikTok, some of these content moderators are permitted no more than 25 seconds to watch a video and have to watch 3 to 10 of them at the same time. So you can imagine just how much stress mental stress that would cause an individual. And then you layer in the different types of content that generally doesn't see the light of day, or you hope doesn't see the light of day, and you start to have a much bigger issue. Now, this is something that Facebook has also faced. This is something that any social media company that houses a lot of this content is going to run into these sorts of issues. So certainly not a story that's going to end anytime soon, and certainly not one that is very simple in nature. So.
Can we just run over that again, because that's impressive? 10 videos all at the same time, and they watch 20 seconds?
Permitted no more than 25 seconds per video, according to the complaint. So I can't imagine being
effective?
Being effective to, how can you make a decision in 25 seconds? And how can you moderate that much content in such a short period of time and not run into those types of issues, not have to experience that kind of mental stress and that type of mental trauma. So
it's almost, it's not relatable, but it's. I'm looking at 3 screens right here and probably 6 or 7 different charts, and miss things all the time because, hey, we're human, right? So, that is a notable change maybe that needs to be made. We kind of panned over this Apple headline in the pre-market this morning, talking about some Dutch regulators stepping in saying maybe they want a little bit of a payment as well.
Right. So the Netherlands Authority for Consumers and Markets has ruled that Apple must allow any dating app developers to use non-Apple payment systems for in-app purchases. This has always been a point of contention for developers because Apple gets 15 to 30% of the cut from any purchases made within their in-app purchase system. So you can imagine that 15 to 30% doesn't go to the developers, it goes to the actual company itself. Right. So a lot of developers are like, whoa, pump the brakes. So now what's happening is that any dating app developers must actually implement some non-in-app payment systems. And they're going to be faced with some fines up to a maximum of 50 million euros if those changes aren't being made by January 15th. So time to buckle up and put another system in place.
I forget the story. It might have been on Facebook. We were talking about a similar type of headline going back a couple of weeks ago before I went on holidays. But it's almost as if this is, the cost of doing business at this point for these companies.
Right. I am just mind blown at the fact that there isn't, a company that provides a better service than what Apple provides for far less money.
Right.
A dedicated payment provider for in-app for app developers could be a new startup idea for anybody out there who's listening.
He's not only the tech guru, but he's also a startup guru as well. Justin Kozach, Day Trade, the World Marketing Guy. Thank you as always. Guys, back over to you.
All right, yeah, interesting there. TikTok, wow, that's an interesting story there because, only watching the first 20, 25 seconds of a TikTok, I don't have a TikTok account or anything like that, but what about the next 25, 30 seconds? Like, if I was going to make a clean TikTok video, I now know that I would, or a bad one, I guess, I would do the first 30 seconds clean, knowing that maybe they don't review it. So that's some interesting talk right there as well. That PYR though, like what is going on here? This name continues to work and is actually going nuts right now as we speak. So PYR, Pyrogenesis, just tried to take out 550 one more time there and bounced off that. So a lot of consolidation happening. This is just a 1 minute chart. So it's recently just took off. Like it took out that 350 and now bouncing here at 550. Let's just scale back in. So a 20-minute chart gives us absolutely jack all. And then we'll look over here on a 1 day chart just to give us another thought of where we can possibly go with this name. Up to 650 here could be a stop and go area. But wow, what a good bump up today for PYR. Another one enter the 100% club, PYR. This might be the only name here today that's in the 100% club. Normally we find a few more, but there it is, man, taking out some of those tops. I would look for a short, maybe back down through 5 if we don't hold, but PYR off to the races today. We'll have to find out more about this name. I think it was brought to us early, but we definitely should have been hitting this one. Look at the volume recently. Big time volume spikes through 5. Like you talk about that volume here through 3, but 5 just absolutely blows up to the upside there as that takes off. As we're getting ready to rock and roll here and pass it over to Market Movers. I know Trader Prad is in the building. Miss V's been doing wonderful. We'll get an update. I mean, we're too late now. We'll get an update on her trading coming through on the next show. There's 5 breaking back down. So watch out for your PYR trades. I'm just a little bit nervous. You could break through VWAP here. And if we zoom back in a little bit, I guess I always like to look at it, the candle that it all kind of started to get going, right? That would be down here, but you're not going to hold it down to that far. So maybe it's that bottom wick or something like this, 460, 450, that you may want to hold on to. But again, PYR making magic happen on the upside here.
Yeah, I just realized the show's almost done. I haven't hit any animations. Why not? Let's hit some animations for this trade right here. That's your sniper shot on Netflix, up almost $3 in the money. I've cashed out some on Netflix around that 613 mark, and we're just going to ride the rest up, see if we can actually trail this, and if we can get that move towards 615, that'll be gold. So here we are, making some money on Netflix. Everything seems to be stable. I've dumped that BABA trade. BABA was going south, though we took that dollar and change hit on BABA. But Netflix up almost $3, that 282. Qualcomm up 76 cents. I've moved the trail up on this, so even if it comes all the way back, I'm going to walk away with at least 40 to 50 cents or so. That's for now. It's up 76 cents. MasterCard up 57 cents. Facebook is flat, up 2 cents. And then Home Depot, the only one that's actually out of the money right now, is out 45 cents. But I've got some support. So even if it comes back, I should be able to, get some support bounces off this 400 even level. So here we are, waiting for all these moves to get going. If they haven't already. I mean, Netflix is just starting. Qualcomm is coming off a little bit. MasterCard hasn't even got started, and that's already up $1. Home Depot has a real chance to get going, and Facebook taking its sweet time after running super early. Now it's starting to take its sweet time with this 345. We are long with that 345. That's a major level for me. If we can actually expand soon, that'd be lovely. So here we are waiting for these moves to actually get going. And most of them are doing just fine. So here we are at the end of the show as as we go to Valeria. This is doing just fine for me. So I'm going to kind of just put trails in and wait for this. This is position trading. Somebody was asking, what is position trading? This is me. I position. Now I just got to manage and let them work themselves out. I'm not going to be chasing anything else. I think I'm done in terms of getting any more. So as we go to Valeria.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a great start of this trading week. Thank you very much for all the super chats and for all the support. And guys, I remind you that need just 300 more likes to get to 2,000. So please, if you didn't like this video yet, do it right now. Join Prad and me to continue trading at Market Movers. And happy National Fruit Cake Day, everyone.
Oh, that is a controversial item.
Fruitcake?
Fruitcake is a controversial item. Some people hate it, some people love it. I don't mind it as long as it's not like, it depends on which kind of fruitcake. I feel like there's so many varieties of fruitcake that some of them are actually decent and some of them you can actually throw at a wall and break it. So it depends.
Oh, it has to be fresh. I mean, I don't want to throw a baked item at a wall. I thought you were going to say some some of those candied fruits.
Yep.
they're not. I don't like them as much. Like there's certain ones. I think that's what it's all about. But let's see if Brendan likes fruitcake.
Definitely not. More so because of those, whatever they are, that are inside the actual
Right.
cake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
they're like some of them are like nuclear orange and red and yellow, and it's very strange.
Correct. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, there is some sort of a nuclear presence there. But yeah, look, what a fantastic show. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Rob, Randy. I see Maggie's here now. And thank you to Ms. V, of course, for that. And thank you to my man Arun, who's here for 3 more days, and then you can like relax for 6 months. So thank you again, Arun, for continued professionalism and for that great trade there on Netflix. We're trying to run some smaller stocks as well, but watch out for Trader Prad and Miss V coming to a tube near you right now. Let's go, Market Movers. Ciao, guys.
Trader Pratt and the beautiful Miss V, indeed, to a YouTube near you. Welcome to Market Movers.
Hey guys, welcome back everyone. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, great Christmas, and welcome back. We still have a full trading week before the new year. It's super exciting. As usual, please be active on the chat, ask us anything, and like this video. How's your trading going, Prad?
Not bad.